Town versus Forest Green, and it's live on BBC Three Counties Radio and 5 Sports Extra, plus on BBC Sounds if you're out and about tonight, and you can stick us on your mobile or your tablet and listen online via BBC Sounds. We're underway in the FA Cup in the rain. It's been off and on since we arrived a couple of hours ago, and Luton Town are kicking towards the Oak Road end, Forest Green kicking towards the Kenilworth Road end, and as it's Halloween, that could be a reason why there are quite a few empty seats tonight in this FA Cup clash, or some might be watching on TV or just listening to us. Luton mounting their first attack down that left-hand side with Bramall. The cross gets blocked, it goes out for a corner, and it's an early set piece for Luton Town. Simon Oxley is alongside me.
Yeah, Izzy Jones playing on that left-hand side as you suggested, and Jake Richards further forward down the right. Liam Walsh has gone across to take the corner. They should pose a threat from set pieces. There's some height in there for Luton. No Anderson, but Naismith has gone forward. Ted and Mengi as well. Fanny has some height.
It's going to be Walsh to take the set piece. It's a good one. The goalkeeper's completely missed it, and it's cleared off the line by Forest Green. That is a nervous start for Pagel, who, as I've mentioned, gets his first start tonight. And I think Robbie Savage will be a bit concerned that the first thing he has to do is just shake his head and wonder what happened there, because he completely misjudged that one as he came for the ball and was nowhere near it, really.
No, I'm not quite sure who it got a touch off, but it was heading into the back of the net and it was cleared away off the line, really. Nobody in an orange shirt able to apply a stronger touch. But yeah, it was a bit of a flap, wasn't it, from the young Irish goalkeeper. Just looking around the ground, it might start to fill up a little bit. But that, as you mentioned, that 7:30 start may catch a few people out. But Forest Green fans making plenty of noise. They've nowhere near filled the away section there. But main stand filling up a bit. But Kenilworth end is, half full?
Yeah, you can understand Forest Green fans not wishing to make the journey from Gloucestershire for tonight, as Mengi has possession about 10 yards outside the penalty area, and Luton will go backwards to Keeley. Luton in the orange and navy blue, up against Forest Green in sort of a light green minty number, as the challenge comes in on this near side from Longvake, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. The two managers in the technical areas. Robbie Savage wearing a very snazzy kind of beige outfit,
and sort of a jacket and jumper number.
Jack Wilshere with a long blue coat on, puffer jacket, as a good block comes in from the Hatter striker Naki Wells there, with Forest Green looking to clear through the centre-back Mendy. He'll go backwards to Pagel, who clear up towards the halfway. Luton are going to try and bring this one down and flick forwards. 0-0 in the early stages, coming up to 3 minutes gone. Ball played up towards Luton's forwards, Richards there. And now Luton go backwards to Naismith, the centre half. Now to Mengi, and that's a good ball from Mengi finding Walsh. Walsh pass out to the right-hand side. Just didn't quite enough pace on it, which caused Richards problems. But Walsh has gone down there to try and help out the midfielder. And Jack Wilshere slaps his hands together. Probably realises that pass from Walsh just needed a little bit extra on it, as Luton take this throw down the right-hand side. Hooked away by Forest Green. National League side started pretty well. 5th in the table. They had been the league leaders last month. Just slipped up. They've only lost a couple of games in the league this season, and both of them have come this month. But still not far off the top. Walsh again, just a bit careless with that little knock forwards. Forest Green clear into the Luton half, and Naismith will go back to his goalkeeper Keeley. And Luton will just take their time before launching long. Jones is sprinting after it, or just be too far ahead of Izzy Jones, who has a good run at that one. Just keeping our fingers crossed for Jones that he doesn't have any recurrence of that back problem, but he certainly looked
sharp enough there, didn't he? Yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah,
absolutely sprinted.
We thought Shayton Morris was quick, and he's still out injured as well, and Millie Ali, but cool, that was different gravy that from Izzy Jones. Almost on the end of that, if he'd have been able to bring it under control.
Luton trying to play out from defence, get caught. A few murmurs from the crowd, just weren't pleased with that pass. And Forest Green with their chance to attack for the first time. Right hand side, that's a good ball into the far post, and Luton had to deal with it. Was that a good save from Keeley? Because there was an opportunity there, and it was Buyabu who was on the end of it. I think Keeley might have blocked that at the near post.
It's been given as a goal kick, but it was a great ball into the far post. He just a very tight angle, isn't he? The player coming in on at the left-hand side, he sort of knocked it back across. He couldn't quite, and he did all he could to keep it in, Boyabu, but wasn't too far away. It's a great ball in from the right-hand side, and all came from Luton messing about on the edge of the penalty area, playing themselves into trouble.
Yeah, which is a bugbear of supporters up and down the country, playing out from the back. We know why they do it, but when it goes wrong it can be critical. Here's Izzy Jones again, good pace from him down the left hand side, then feeds it off to Bramall. Luton looking to cross in, it's a good ball into the box as well. Richards had gone in there was a little nudge on him, but there certainly wasn't enough for a penalty to be given. I think he just slightly mistimed his run, Richards, but maybe he was expecting it to go near post rather than where it went a bit further back.
It's a great ball in from Bramall down the left hand side. Izzy Jones and Cohen Bramall could be a real partnership down that left hand side. Great ball in from Bramall, and he's every right to expect actually somebody to be on the end of that, but I find myself saying that just about every week, to be honest. Somebody's got to be in there knocking those in.
0-0. Luton have started pretty positively in this FA Cup first round on BBC Three Counties Radio. All of our frequencies tonight, plus we're on BBC Sounds, so you can listen to us online, and we're on 5 Sports Extra. Goalless at the Kenny as the rain continues here, and Luton play out. Keeley and Naismith exchanging passes, the goalkeeper and centre back. Has Richards kept that in play? Well, it looked like he had, but the linesman has given it right in front of Robbie Savage.
It's not too far away, in fairness to the assistant, is he? He's only a couple of yards away. It looks as though he just kept it in on the near side there, Richards, but Keeley was being put under pressure. The big striker Babalola's doing some work closing down.
Free kick taken by the skipper Mendy, who launches it forwards. Luton should be able to deal with this, although Bramall just misses his clearance, so Forest Green with an opportunity. They play backwards, will look to cross in. They don't have many in the penalty area now, as they'll clip it forwards. Just going to come off the turf a bit too quickly, that, and because it is wet here, that ball forwards just was spinning, and the dampness of the pitch meant that it wasn't going to stop, and out of play it goes for a goal kick. Luton, who've started the season not as supporters were expecting, having dropped down from both the Premier League and the Championship, 10th in the table, and of course Matt Bloomfield departing just a few weeks ago. Here's Mengi for Luton. Mengi, the centre half, plays it down the right hand side. Richards is chasing after it, but he's not going to get in behind Kengi, who allows the ball to go out of play for a Forest Green throw in. Kengi in front of those Forest Green supporters, who might just be getting a bit damp in that
the wind is really blowing the rain into where we are and also into that Oak Road stand away to our right hand side. It's really swirling around, isn't it? There was some rain forecast, not till late there I thought, but it's with Luton. Luton have the wind and rain with them in this first half, on the evidence of what we're seeing.
Free kick to Luton, close to the halfway line. Stephen Parkinson, our official tonight. Goalless in the early stages of this FA Cup tie. Luton playing in the first round for a few years, of course, having been Championship and Premier League most recently. That's good work from Richards from that right hand side, cutting forwards, and then his pass back out to that right for Wells wasn't quite good enough. Just didn't quite get the accuracy that he needed on it.
Could have carried on himself. I thought there was a gap there.
Luton have started pretty positively here.
Yeah, very much on top in terms of possession.
Here's Longvite, close to the touchline, trying to feed in Naki Wells, the former Bristol City striker. Longvite will take this throw in just beyond the halfway line. In it goes, and looking to turn was Fane there. I think Fane was just caught, and he was.
First time he's touched the ball, isn't it? I don't recall him being involved at all, which he just has to be, he has to show more of what he showed at Northampton. I thought he was excellent at Northampton a week ago, particularly in the second half, and he scored the goal, of course, but just needs to just get involved a little bit more. He should be running this sort of a game like this, really. Should be very much to the full.
Luton have these two good set-piece takers, don't they? Liam Walsh and George Saville, who are both over the ball. Saville is going to leave it for the right footer Walsh to take this one. In it comes. It's quite low, and Forest Green are able to deal with it, edge of the penalty area. Picked up by Bramall. Yes.
Curse of the commentator, wasn't it? It was a terrible volley.
That was just typical, wasn't it, really? He should have left it for Saville.
Yeah.
Here come Forest Green. They've robbed Luton of possession beyond the halfway line. Foul comes in from Izzy Jones. Just almost taking one for the team, just making sure that there was no counter on. Free kick, Forest Green.
Again, they lost possession there, Luton, and Forest Green breaking out quickly, and Izzy Jones bringing the player down. If that had been the league game, that might have been a booking, I think, but referee decided a free kick would suffice.
Which is in the favour of Forest Green, who will no doubt try and float this one towards the edge of the penalty area, which is where the players are stationed, just outside the box at the moment. In it comes, just inside the box, headed away well by Longvike, and then Luton clear further up towards the centre circle. Forest Green pick up and play out to the left-hand side to Bouyabu, who's been playing as a left-back most recently for Forest Green, but he's playing further up the pitch tonight. He's playing as the left attacker, if you like, and Kengney is playing as the left-back this evening. Kanu and Mendy are the two centre halves, completely different two in central defence, and the one survivor from the back four, or you could call it back five, but including the goalkeeper, is Trey Pemberton, who is the regular right back for Forest Green. So plenty of changes in Robbie Savage's team as they try and mount an attack over on the right hand side. Another ex-Macclesfield player, Etaluku, picks up, joining quite a few others in this Forest Green setup. Pemberton is another one, so too Kengney and also Mendy. These players, the four of those ex-Macclesfield players, were playing in the Northern Premier Division last season. They did get promoted, but it's a big old jump up, obviously.
But it is when most of these Luton players are in the Championship.
Yes. Yeah, some of them Premier League as well. Ted and Mengi, as Luton will have to deal with the ball down the left-hand side. Keeley doesn't come, and it's probably the right decision, but the attacker Bouyabu is offside, and Luton Town just get away with that one a little bit. Bouyabu kicks the ball away, well, back heels it.
Wasn't much in that, I don't think, but assistant's right in line.
Close, wasn't it?
Yeah, keeper cleared it, took a slight deflection, it was nearly charged down by Fane, and then Longvike just got a slight touch on it, but he must have been away and in an offside position before Longvike got that touch. Bouyabu.
0-0. Coming up to 13 minutes played here at Kenilworth Road in this FA Cup first round clash. We've got plenty more tomorrow to come as well in the FA Cup. Stevenage against Chesterfield, Wickham against Plymouth, MK Dons away to Colchester, plus our non-league teams who are in action. We've got commentary on all of those three games as Izzy Jones chases after this. May have been a slight push there on Kanu, and it isn't, but Forest Green do get the decision. Our non-league clubs also in FA Cup action. Boreham Wood, Hemel Hempstead and St Albans. We'll keep an eye on all three of those games as well, plus the small matter of Watford versus Middlesbrough in the Championship. Busy all day for us tomorrow.
Rob Edwards back at Vicarage Road. Rob Edwards, of course, who took Forest Green up not so long ago, and then moved on from there to Watford briefly, and then here.
Then of course he left Forest Green. They got relegated and relegated again.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is why they're back in the National League, having been in the Football League for 7 years. They're playing the ball centrally now, and Luton need to get a challenge in here, and they will do with Mengi. Mengi then clears long and straight into the Forest Green half, but the National League side have just found their kind of rhythm now.
He was almost in there, Etaluku. This is his debut for them, latest one to arrive, as you were saying, from Macclesfield.
Luton have robbed Forest Green down that right hand side, and then Richards wins a throw in. Jake Richards playing down that right, keeping his place. I think when he signed from Exeter, we didn't expect him to be playing quite a
perhaps in the group,
role,
but not necessarily starting. He was all right at Northampton. Steady, did nothing wrong, didn't particularly catch the eye.
Luton crossing in now, not a bad ball, just outside the 6-yard box. Forest Green clear, drops down, Richards tries to strike, doesn't quite connect. Saville's trying to get in there, Forest Green defend well, and Forest Green clear the edge of their penalty area. Then there's a big old shoving contest between Mengi and the big striker Babalola, who was playing for Worthing last season. Babalola, Mengi smashing that one away
and having quite a few choice words with his captain as well, actually. Cal Naismith. He's having a right wrestling match obviously with Babalola, and Keeley had come way out of his goal to join in as well. Ricochet could have gone anywhere, and Keeley was way out of position. He was virtually on the halfway line. Mengi had a right go at Naismith.
Yeah. Very much a contest now. 15 and a half minutes gone. Neither goalkeeper troubled as yet. In fact, that deep cross for Buyaboo was probably the best opening. He couldn't quite get the right contact on the volley, Buyaboo, but wasn't far off it, close to that far post, as Keeley rolls the ball out to Naismith. 0-0. Naismith, one of the Luton centre halves, alongside Mengi, plays it into Walsh. Walsh first time to Mengi inside his own half, then Mengi stabs one back to Naismith, and out to that left hand side it goes, and Saville, the former Millwall midfielder. Saville then goes backwards to Naismith. Rain has just eased a little bit. Luton have knocked the ball out of play over on that far side in front of the Kenilworth Road stand. If you know the Kenny, we're in the Bobbers stand on the gantry, which was installed when Luton were promoted into the Premier League. Since then, of course, successive relegations for the Hatters, and looking to return to the Championship. Little slip from the Forest Green goalkeeper Pagel, but he gets away with it. Nobody near him, and then plays out to his left-hand side. And the Gloucestershire club will try and slant a ball out to that right side, dealt with by Bramall, who plays this one down the left channel. Forest Green will pick up again, a diagonal from them now. Longvake has to be careful. Longvake comes in and slides and gets a good challenge in on Buyaboo. Had to get there as well, did Longvake.
It's a great ball from Kanu from out the back, getting in behind.
Throw into Forest Green, about level with the Luton Town penalty area. In it comes, Saville is there, Saville heads away. Longvake tries to clear but miskicks, and out of play it goes for another Forest Green throw in.
Well, Kengi's come forward to take it as if he's going to take a long throw, but he's now stood right on the touchline.
Very much in fashion at the moment, isn't it, the long throw? As the ball drops down into the penalty area, and goalkeeper Keeley comes and claims it and throws out quickly to Bramall. Bramall racing away, 0-0 at Kenilworth Road in the FA Cup. Bramall touches it off to Jones. Jones comes in field ever so slightly before going back out to Saville, who's on the halfway line. Saville now to his captain Naismith. Ball played forward, and then the pass out from Wells out to that left hand side, again lacked the accuracy that was required, and out of play it goes for another throw in. It's just got a little bit messy out there now.
Yeah, Wells made the mistake, but to his credit he's gone back down to win it back and win another throw, so he was determined to make up for the error.
Luton attacking on the left with Izzy Jones. Jones heads towards the penalty area. It's still Jones, then he'll go backwards to Fanay to Bramall. Luton just keeping possession now. Jones to Saville, and now it's with Naismith. Luton yet to create a chance in this FA Cup first round. Here's Walsh on the halfway line. Liam Walsh just taking his time, looking at options. Luton eventually will play a ball down the left hand side. It's asking a lot of the Hatters, and Forest Green will clear out of play over on that far side, proving quite difficult to break down the visiting opposition as Luton go backwards to goalkeeper Keeley, edge of his penalty area to Longvake taking no chances, gives this one to Richards, but Richards was pushed off the ball. Longvake then helps him out and plays in field to Walsh scampers away, ball at his feet, feeds out to that left hand side, and Bramall on the halfway line. Luton probing but not really getting anywhere at the moment.
Had a chance there with Walsh in possession to really break forward, but it all just sort of stalled a bit, didn't it? And now we're just passing it backwards and sideways in the Luton half.
Forest Green will take that. They're not too fussed about pressing Luton when the Hatters have possession kind of in this middle third, if you like. Here is Mengi, who is now going on a bit of a run, feeds it off to Walsh then in field, and Luton try and play forwards and do so. Good skill there from Richards. Can Longvake keep it in play? He can. Gets it to Wells back to Richards in the box, lays it off, chance just past the post. Lamine Fane with the effort. It was always kind of leaning back and the balance wasn't quite right, but that was great football from Luton. Best passage of play. Fane just going close past that far post.
Yeah, it's the move of the match, wasn't it? And certainly from a Luton perspective, Naki Wells was involved, Richards down the right hand side as well, and then pulled it back, and there's Lamine Fane. We talked about him getting forward into attacking positions like he did to get the winner at Northampton on Saturday, but he got into a good position. We're right in line here, aren't we? He just sort of, it was always just curling away from the post. But good move, best move of the match by a country mile.
Yeah, the way he caught it, the ball was always going to spin left, and the ball was kind of heading towards the far post, so it was always going to then curl wide of it, which is exactly what it did. But good work, Jake Richards did well in that build-up there. Here come Forest Green left-hand side, and a chance for them to attack. It's the fullback who's pushed on. Walsh gets a good challenge in, and then Walsh is challenged by Whitwell down on this near side. Good play from the fullback who likes to bomb on. Kengney.
Yeah, the pass was just a little bit short, allowed Walsh to slide in, and he's never shy to make a challenge, Liam Walsh, as we've found out in his Luton Town career. We think after that double sending off, he was, really, you wondered whether he'd ever play again for Luton. Fans were very much against him, but he's come back, and he's got some good applause there. He makes a tackle, fans love that.
Wells, neat layoff to Longvake. Now Wells has got to go and join the attack, which is where Richards is, and he does go and join the attack. Wells into the penalty area, right side, goes back to Fane, who this time does score, and that is a serious finish from Lamine Fane, who was again off balance, but this time he got his accuracy just right, and he curled it again into that same position, but this time he managed to get the accuracy he needed, and it curls into the top left corner, and Luton Town take the lead. Luton 1, Forest Green 0.
That's a really good finish from Lamine Fane. Slightly off balance there, challenge coming in on him as well, but it's good football. Down the right hand side once again, Naki Wells breaking forward, and he pulled it back beautifully, and Fane just gets there ahead of Trey Pemberton, who was covering across, and it's a really good finish as he sort of slipped as well, Lamine Fane. Well, it took him a while to get involved in the game, but now he could have had 2 goals, and he's got 1. You know, we didn't see him for 10 minutes, did we? But goodness me, he's arrived now, and for the second successive fixture, not really, because we had that one in the week, but you know what I mean, second first 11 fixture, if you like, in succession. He's on the score sheet.
Yeah, his second successive goal, because he wasn't involved the other night, and Luton do have the lead, and that's going to make life trickier for Forest Green. Halfway through the first half, Simon will take you to half-time.
Yeah, really good finish from Lamine Fane. Spoke to him after the Northampton game, quietly spoken, goes about his business. Has he won a free kick there? No. Felt he was fouled, and Forest Green break forward, and then the centre forward Babalola slips over, back to Naismith. Fane will perhaps be just fancying this now. Keeley clears upfield. Fane's looking for the ball as Izzy Jones looks to get away down the left-hand side, but he's tackled over on the far side. Luton 1, Forest Green 0 on BBC Three Counties Radio. This wet and windy Halloween night, goodness me. Not the night for trick-or-treating or even standing on a gantry, to be perfectly honest, but there we are. It's swirling round the ground again. The rain comes and goes. Wind picking up, not pleasant conditions for the players, it has to be said, but they're doing their best, and Luton leading by 1-0 as Forest Green come forward down the left-hand side, away by Richards, who was caught late there by Moore. Again, no free kick given. Liam Walsh makes the challenge. Whitwell then flicks it back in towards the edge of the box, and Ted Mengi clears it. Thought it was coming into the gantry, but just hits the roof above us. Richards just picking himself up. Referee Parkinson just inquiring of Jake Richards if he's okay, which would seem to suggest that perhaps it was something he could have blown his whistle for. Anyway, Forest Green throw in towards Babilola. He's claiming the corner. Longvike isn't sure whether to leave it or play it. Plays it in the end and puts it out of play for a throw on this near side to the visitors. Throw level with the edge of the Luton area in towards Whitwell, who's trying to turn nicely. Tackled by Saville. Saville brings the ball away and is then tripped, and the cheers, sarcastic cheers, are for the referee, who's given the free kick to Luton midway inside their own half. Lamine Fane's goal separating the two sides in this FA Cup first round tie. As Jeff was saying, plenty of cup football tomorrow. Commentary on MK Dons, Stevenage and Wickham, and we'll keep you up to date with Hemel Hempstead up at Wigan. 900 Hemel fans heading up the M6. St Albans with a caretaker manager, and Adrian Mariappa involved as well, the former Watford defender, and Boreham Wood at home to Crawley. And of course we have Watford against Middlesbrough in the Championship. Ball flicked back into the Forest Green area. They're shouting for the goalkeeper to come and get it. Goodness me, Carnu had to really have a go at the youngster there, Pagel, to come and gather. He did in the end. And here's Carnu now, back again to Pagel in his light blue kit. Forest Green attacking the Kenilworth end in this first half. A half-empty Kenilworth end, it has to be said. And in possession now. Early ball played forward down this left-hand side. Longvike tugged back there by Bouyabu, who was trying to get away down the left-hand side, and he might have done, actually. I think he's got the pace to get past Longvike, but he just more took the shirt off his back. Didn't need to, really. I think he's got the pace to get past him without doing that, really. Yeah,
they have got quite a bit of pace up front with the three that they have up there. Quite an attacking team, actually, that Robbie Savage has put out. They're playing a 4-2-3-1, so they're going to give it a bit of a go. For the Luton goal, it's good work from Nucky Wells, wasn't it?
He was, yeah.
Came in, got involved in it.
Half of you wants him in the box because he's a striker, but he's so good in his approach play as well.
Did really well, didn't he? Involved, then he made another darting run, picked up the ball, and what's clever about him is he then picks out a player rather than just cross the ball in. Picks out Fane, and Fane with a very good finish.
Foul by a combination of Wells and Saville there, means a free kick to Forest Green just over the halfway line inside the Luton half. 27.5 minutes gone at Kenilworth Road. Luton 1, Forest Green 0. Forest Green free kick, which they're just working out who's going to take it. It's going to be Harvey Bunker, the tall midfielder, who's going to do the honours. Clips it forward right-footed to the edge of the Luton penalty area, headed away by Ted and Mengi. Izzy Jones will get to it first down that left-hand side, waiting for Bramall in support. Jones then cuts back inside, and rather than play Bramall away down the left-hand side, plays it all the way back to goalkeeper Keeley. Bramall had gone racing away down that left-hand side, and Jones ignored him in the end. Here's Fane, the goal scorer, tussling for it in midfield and having his arm tugged there by Isaac Moore, the Coventry loanee. Free kick to Luton, quickly taken. Saville, there's the wind again, really picking up inside Kenilworth Road as Nucky Wells is dumped to the ground after laying the ball off, and that'll be a free kick to Luton. Midway inside the Forest Green half. It's quite a long way out. I wonder if Bramall might fancy this in these swirling conditions. If he can just get it on target, it's not going to be particularly easy for the young goalkeeper, who, with the best will in the world, hasn't looked the surest, has he?
No, we've seen Bramall score from a set piece already this season. It was admittedly closer than that is there. That's what, 35 yards out?
Yeah, some distance, but certainly he's far enough back to get it over the wall and down again. And in this swirling wind, it might just prove tricky for young Pagel in the Forest Green goal. 29 minutes gone. Luton 1, Forest Green 0. Cohen Bramall certainly taking the run up. I think he's going to have a crack. Walsh is there as well, but it looks like Bramall to take it. 4 in the wall. Here's Bramall, takes it, left-footed, keeper down to make the save, but spills it, and Naki Wells taps in the rebound. Well, it worked in the end because Cohen Bramall put the goalkeeper under pressure. He should hold that, Pagel. Mendy's gone back just to console him. He's spilt it, and Naki Wells doing what every good striker should do, following up, looking for that chance, and tapped it in, and Luton have a 2-goal cushion. Bramall's free kick. We said it might be difficult for the goalkeeper in the conditions. It was, and Naki Wells has applied the finishing touch, and it's Luton 2, Forest Green 0.
Yeah, it's a mistake from the goalkeeper, Pagel. It was a risk that Robbie Savage took in playing Pagel in goal and leaving out the regular goalkeeper, McNicholas. And at the moment, it's probably not paying off because I know it's tricky out there and the conditions aren't great. And the ball, it was just hitting the ground as he's gone to claim it. It actually looked like he had it in his
It looked like he smothered it, didn't he?
Yeah. And then it just popped out. And unfortunately, then that's just an open goal for Wales to knock in.
Bramall's there defending now at the other end, plays the ball back to Keeley. I think he intended to do that, but Keeley's caught it. But anyway, nobody's appealing for the back pass. Mengi back to Keeley. Keeley back again to Ted and Mengi. Luton 2, Forest Green 0. With 31 minutes gone in the first half of this FA Cup first round tie, the first round tie of the weekend. And at the moment, an upset not on the cards as Mengi plays it forward towards Izzy Jones, headed away by Pemberton over on the far side, and that second goal just gives Luton the cushion, and maybe they can start to relax and play their football a little bit. Here's Lamine Fane, nice little step over from the referee to avoid the pass. Walsh back to Mengi, now Saville forward to Bramall down the left hand side. Bramall back inside to Saville, first time cross from Northern Ireland International, and Wells is there and he's missed it. Should have had another one. Wells, it was flicked on by a defender. Naki Wells, was he offside? Well, the flag has stayed down. Let's have another look here. No, he times it perfectly and he's volleyed it first time and put it over. Should be 3-0 really. Just takes a touch off the defender. Just flicked it on, didn't he? And then Wells will feel he perhaps should have hit the target from there.
Well, he should have done, should have done. As the cross came in, you could see Wells looking along the line. He was definitely onside, and then the flick on was from the Forest Green defender, so that meant it was fine. And he may have seen it late, but even so, just right on the 6-yard line, just couldn't
keep it down, could he? Perhaps the touch off the defender speeded it up a little bit. I'm trying to be kind to him, but he will feel that he should have had number 2 there. But 2-0 it is to Luton. Raining again, swirling round the ground once more as Naismith plays it to Bramall. Bramall on the edge of his own area, forward to Jones. Well, that's picked up by Pemberton, the right back, breaking forward, who's then not kept it in over on the far side. He's kicked the ball away, getting the cross in, but I think he was already in the process of getting that cross away when the whistle went. Flag went up, whistle went, and it'll be a throw to Luton over on the far side. 2 up the Hatters. 33 minutes gone in the first half here on BBC Three Counties Radio, digital FM, plus online via BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra as well. Happy Halloween. Certainly treat rather than trick for Luton at the moment. Here, speaking of tricks, is Izzy Jones trying to scamper away down that left hand side. He's tackled. Luton win it back with Bramall, and then Forest Green defender Mendy clears it up into the air and it sort of blows back. Wind's really picking up, isn't it? Luton certainly have it
it's in
their favour in this half.
I'm not sure that's the reason why they're dominating in the way they are. I mean, this couldn't be going more according to plan for Luton. 2-0 up, in control, could be 3, and Forest Green haven't really put them under too much pressure. No. I must admit, when I saw the Forest Green side, I was slightly surprised that he'd made so many changes and he'd almost completely changed his back 4 and his goalkeeper.
And 2 centre halves and the goalkeeper is a weird one.
And just looking, online, certainly off of Twitter, some of the supporters also were a bit dubious about the decision as well. I know some, he'll probably say, well, promotion is key this season, but even so.
Forest Green in possession now, but a combination of Mengi and Walsh win it back for Luton. Naismith out to the left-hand side to Bramall. Bramall clips it forward left-footed, looking for Jones again down that left-hand side, headed away by Pemberton. Picked up now by Naki Wells running from deep. Rolls it forward into the box to Bramall. Bramall down the left-hand side. Still Bramall. Back to Jones. Rain much heavier now. Difficult playing conditions actually. Walsh clips it back into the box, headed away. Comes back out to Jones. Forest Green with the rain blowing right into their faces as Luton put the pressure on the edge of the box. Jones trying to create a shooting opportunity. Forest Green win the ball back. Saville slides in, but unfairly according to the referee. Foul there on Isaac Moore, and it'll be a free kick to Forest Green Rovers, with Luton 2 up here. So we busily try and keep ourselves and all our equipment and notes dry. Thought the rain had gone away, but it's back with a vengeance and blowing into the gantry. Luton 2, Forest Green 0 as the Forest Green side come forward. National League Forest Green, 5th after that win against Boreham Wood last week. Is Mendy for them now. Mendy plays the ball forward, but doesn't find a teammate, and Walsh has it now for Luton. Well, maybe those who stayed away knew what the weather forecast was, as Saville is coming forward. Back to Longvike and Luton inside their own half with 9 minutes to go until half time.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to Forest Green, I think Robbie Savage said, well, he just wanted to see whether some of his players could do it at this level, and so that's why he's given them a chance tonight. But for a goalkeeper playing his first match in front of the TV cameras against a League One side who were playing Championship football last season and Prem's football the season before, quite a big ask. So those travelling supporters, I feel a bit sorry for. Made the long journey here.
Yeah, and not an easy journey. It was never an easy journey to get to Forest Green, so presumably not an easy journey to get from it either. Here's Bramall down the left-hand side for Luton. Bramall gets a cross in towards the back post. Wells was stretching, he was just too far in front of him. Richards will keep it in though, does well. Gets it back to Saville. Saville onto his left foot, curls it in once again, and it's headed away, and again by Moore. Luton can keep the pressure on. Walsh though has given the ball away. Then in trying to win it back has fouled the Forest Green player. No, he's got the ball there, Liam Walsh, and Saville now comes forward, looks to roll it through to Fanay, but it's a poor pass from Saville, and Forest Green in the shape of Mendy come forward. Now Whitwell just over the halfway line, tackled by Longvike, unfairly says the referee. Free kick to Forest Green.
Yeah, I think Walsh was trying to foul him, but he just couldn't get the foul in.
Bouyabu down the left-hand side gets his cross in, takes a deflection off Richards, comfortable catch, well, at the second attempt actually from Keeley at the near post. So Luton comfortably in control of this game. Goals from Fanay and from Wells in the space of 7 minutes midway through this first half. Gives Luton the lead here at around about half full Kenilworth Road, I would say. So what, around 5,000-6,000 in, as Mendy now has it under pressure from Fanay, plays it to Kengney down this left hand side. He plays it forward, Longvike clears over the halfway line. Saville challenging for it, putting the midfielder Whitwell under pressure, but he does well to get it back to Carnu. Across to Pemberton forward to Etaluku, who's shown 1 or 2 touches early on, not seen much of him in the last 10 minutes or so.
They've sort of shown flashes, haven't they, Forest Green, but hasn't really been anything sustained, and they haven't been much combination play. Luton, when they've been in possession, have kept the ball for much longer spells. Forest Green, really for the first time now, are just beginning to do that.
Yeah, putting some passes together, coming forward up towards the halfway line. Fanay blocks the pass forward from Mendy, so Forest Green will try again. 39 minutes gone. Luton 2 up here on this wet and windy Halloween in South Bedfordshire. Far side is Moore. and Forest Green win the throw, taken quickly down that right hand side. Bramall is there to clear, puts it out of play for another throw, right hand side for Forest Green, level with the edge of the Luton Town penalty area. Remember, this match has to be decided tonight. No replays in the cup, much to a lot of people's disappointment, although Forest Green on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, perhaps not everybody's cup of tea, if we're brutally honest about it. But extra time and penalties if required, although that's not looking likely at the moment. Luton 2 up, Forest Green in possession, putting a little bit of sustained pressure on here on the Hatters' defence. Rolled forward down that right hand side, but yeah, slight miscommunication there between Moore and Pemberton, and that's out of play for a Luton Town throw.
Won the last couple, Luton, obviously one in the league and one in the trophy midweek. And yes, it's only the trophy, you could say, but if they were to win tonight, that would be 3 in a row. Just raises belief, just raises confidence. It's what Jack Wilshere will be trying to install, a winning mentality at the football club.
And with lots of players as well, lots of players involved in all these matches. Here come Forest Green again down the left-hand side. Boyabu with a shot which deflects off Longvik, and that'll be a corner to the visitors. Saville just being spoken to by the referee. A slightly late challenge in the build-up there. So first corner for the visitors in front of the Kenilworth end down the left-hand side. And defenders coming forward to try and get on the end of this. It's Harvey Bunker who's going to take the corner. Left-hand side for Forest Green. Everybody back for Luton. Luton 2 up. First corner for Forest Green. Here it comes now. Bunker to deliver. Right-footed eventually. Still waiting to take it. Rolls it in short, and it's helped on, and that's a good move and a good block from Mengi, and another block again as well from Longvik. Really good move that off the training ground from Forest Green. Ended up with the shot from I think Boyabu on this near side. Corner played short, flicked on, and Luton weren't alert to it. Well, they were eventually, but not to the initial move. But Ted and Mengi made the initial block, and then Longvik.
That was a really good set piece, wasn't it? Played the player at the near post, came off the near post and went just outside the 6-yard box. Then just clipped it round the corner, and the strike came in, and Luton blocked it once and then twice. It was good defending in the end from Luton. I think it was Mengi, but yeah, good set piece from Forest Green.
Here's Boyabu again, winning another corner. Again on the left-hand side, and one assumes Luton will be a little bit more alert to the danger this time around. That was a really good move, and he did everything right pretty much. He was a good contact on it, and it was a good block, well, 2 good blocks actually from Mengi and then from Longvik. Here's a corner, Boyabu to take it. And again, everybody back for Luton, pretty much everyone forward for Forest Green. 42.5 minutes gone, 2-0 to Luton. Another corner here for Robbie Savage's side. Swung a bit deeper in towards the back post this time, flicked away, comes out on the edge of the box, fired back in, blocked by Walsh. It's fired back in by Isaac Moore. Liam Walsh makes the block, and it spins out of play, not quite for a corner. Over on the far side, the Forest Green right.
Good spell of pressure from the visitors.
It is, yeah.
First one, that's really
good response to going 2 behind. Throw played in towards Whitwell. Whitwell flicks it into the edge of the box. Goes for the return pass, but Bramall clears. But again, they can keep the pressure on. Kanu has it now, plays it across to Mendy. Back again to the tall figure of Abraham Kanu. Just over the halfway line, almost dispossessed by Wells, and wins it back, the big centre half. Orange shirts all around him, and Forest Green forced back into their own half, but they've kept possession. So we approach half time here. Ball played in towards the edge of the Luton box, away by Naismith, and then Saville was just caught there by Moore, rather by Bunker, and it'll be a free kick to Luton midway inside their own half. 2-0 to Jack Wilshere's Luton against Robbie Savage's Forest Green.
When the second goal went in, the pair of them stood there chatting and sort of exchanging words with each other. Nice
right.
words,
yes, pleasantries.
Nice, yeah, pleasantries, yeah. Smiles on
He looks
their
quite
faces.
relaxed about it, Savage, doesn't he?
Yeah, It's probably you can sort of half understand it, because yes, probably promotion is what he's after. They finished third last season, Forest Green, and missed out on the playoffs, but losing in the semi-final to Southend on pens. So they went close last year to promotion. They probably want to go one better this time round, so maybe it's not top of the priority list.
Naismith under pressure inside the centre circle, was just clipped there by Babalola, who's a handful, isn't he, but hasn't really done anything on the ball.
No.
He's been a nuisance, and he's big and strong and athletic, but not really seen too much with the ball at his feet from a Worthing player.
Just looks a bit raw, doesn't it?
Yes, yep. But a physical presence, no doubt. Here's Mengi, just waiting on the ball, plays it back to Keeley. Keeley out to the right hand side to Longvike. Longvike plays the ball forward, and Richards giving chase. A minute of added time, fourth official informs us, on this near side, and we're into that minute now with Luton 2 up. Rain has stopped, wind died down a little bit as Walsh flicks the ball on. Saville as well towards Fanay. Saville again, cleared by Forest Green, only as far as Walsh, who gives it away, and then Longvike gets his head in, but it's well won off him by Baba Buyabu again into Longvike. Longvike clears again. It's a poor clearance. Forest Green keeping the pressure on, desperately trying to get one back if they can. Buyabu still down inside the Luton area, but now the other side, it's Etaluka with a chance to run, flicks it back inside but overhits it. He was trying to flick it through to Trey Pemberton, and has put it out of play for a goal kick, and that'll be just about the last action of the half. In fact, a referee decides that Josh Keeley doesn't even need to take the goal kick, blows for half time, and there's encouraging applause around the ground, certainly from the Luton Town fans, for a fairly decent first half's work. Not quite sure it merited the fireworks that were going off over the main stand. That was a little premature to be celebrating with fireworks. It's only half time, but it's been comfortable enough. The goals came eventually. Lamine Fanay with the first one on 22 minutes, and then when the goalkeeper spilled Cohen Bramall's long-range free kick on 29, Naki Wells was there to tap in the rebound. Wells will feel he should have added another one soon after. At the other end, Forest Green have gone close from a set-piece routine, but that's been about it. 2-0.
Yeah, it's been fairly comfortable. Robbie Savage is just looking up to the gantry and chatting to somebody up here. Well, I don't know whether it's one of his TV colleagues or not, but it just seems a bit weird that he's in the middle of an FA Cup tie, and as the half-time whistle blows, he's looking up at the gantry and trying to chat to somebody close to a TV camera rather than worrying about what he's going to say to his team at half-time. But yes, for Luton, it's been pretty comfortable. 2-0 up. They've had the other best chance of the half when Wells has volleyed over from 6 yards out, so it could be 3. And for Forest Green, they've had that little spell right at the end of the half where, I mean, to be fair, it's a very good corner routine. I'm not sure I've seen one like that before, where the player comes off the near post, and then rather than play it back to the corner taker, he himself just flicks it round the corner to one of his players who's around about 10 yards out.
He connected well as well. Yes. It was a good block rather than a miss, wasn't it? Because he did everything right. Keeper was beaten. Yeah, it was a good block from the 2 Luton defenders, as it turned out.
Couldn't do anything more. The Forest Green player, and Luton blocked it well. But yeah, I mean, it's comfortable. Naki Wells, an assist and a goal, so he'll be pleased. The Luton Town striker, he's been busy. Richards has done well on the right hand side, just neat and tidy. Izzy Jones hasn't quite had as much of the ball probably as he would like.
He started all right, didn't he? We've got a couple of runs from him. In fact, Bramall's got forward more than Izzy Jones has.
Yeah,
down that left side.
Not quite in the game, but that might not be so bad, just because he's coming back from injury and just
we'd expect him to have an hour probably, and then Kodua coming on after that.
Might have been Ali McCoist he was chatting to, because Ali McCoist has just walked past us now. I don't know what possibly he could have been saying to him, but anyway, the ex-Scotland striker walks past us. It's kind of one of those nights, isn't it? It just feels a bit surreal a little bit.
Yeah,
this here.
And they're here for him, aren't they? That's the thing.
Yeah,
they're not here for Forest Green as such. The TV cameras, they're here for Robbie Savage, and a little bit for Jack Wilshere as well. It's a weird one. There are other ties that you don't often get the lower team being away being featured really, unless you get late on in the competition, like Boreham Wood a few years ago when we travelled up to Everton as a station for that one. But this feels very much like a Robbie Savage show, and and maybe Luton fans have decided they're not going to play any part of that because there's only half a ground full.
I suppose he's been a pundit for a long time, hasn't he?
He has. He's well known in football. Yeah. But it's fair enough, I guess, particularly when they've got so many matches that are being featured on television. And we must say that a lot of non-league clubs are benefiting from the TV monies. None of ours particularly, but who knows? They might do in the next round if they can pull off some surprises tomorrow. But no surprises on the cards here at the moment. Comfortable for Luton. Fanay and Wells have scored the goals. Half time at Kenilworth Road. It is Luton Town 2, Forest Green Rovers 0.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
So far, so good at Kenilworth Road for Luton Town Football Club. They are leading Forest Green Rovers in the FA Cup first round 2-0. Lamine Fanay and Naki Wells with the goals. We're live on BBC Three Counties Radio, 5 Sports Extra, and of course on BBC Sounds. If you have to head out and about, you can take us with you. You can listen to the full commentary in your headphones if you'd like to on BBC Sounds. At the end of the game, we'll be taking your reaction, Luton fans. Write these numbers down. 81333 if you like to text. Start your message with 3CR. 08000 321 333 is the WhatsApp number. Again, start your message with 3CR. Second half will be coming up very soon. Let's cross back to Kenilworth Road now, where our commentary team of Simon Oxley and Jeff Doyle are. Very good first half. Second half, they just need to stay professional down, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've done exactly what they needed to do in that first half. They took control fairly early on without creating too many chances, but they were obviously just kind of trying to see how they could get at Forest Green. And as the half wore on, they began to get more and more control, and eventually the chances came. Even before the goal went in, Fanay had steered one past the far post, and then kind of almost like a carbon copy, although it was a better move from Luton. This time he did get his angle better when Naki Wells played the ball square to him, and it was a good finish from Fanay, actually, really good into the left corner. And then not long after that, 7 minutes after that, on the half-hour mark, they doubled the lead when the goalkeeper Pagel spilled Bramall's free kick and Wells just nudged in. So yeah, I mean it's gone almost perfectly for Luton, really, because sometimes these can be tricky games. They're playing a non-league team, albeit Forest Green were in the Football League fairly recently. They had their little fight back towards the end of the half, but yeah, Jack Wilshere can go in at half time and be relatively pleased. And of course, because he's got such a strong bench and players who we haven't seen too much of, we might get to see them. If they could score one or two more, Luton, then we might then get to see Al Hamadi, who hasn't featured for Luton yet, and probably a Doffin as well at some point, who's also coming back from injury. So yeah, Miles, this is going really according to plan.
Interesting you said score one or two more, because Simon, 2-0, on paper it looks great and it's very comfortable, and it has been very comfortable for Luton Town. However, 2-0, it's a tricky scoreline, because while sometimes you can start to feel comfortable, it only takes one goal from the opposition for the game to completely turn on its head.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd scored from that set piece, and it really was a good set piece routine, and Luton defended it very well in the end, 2 good blocks. If they pull one back there, then you just think, okay, there's a bit of a chance of something here, but really Luton should go on and win the game from here. Not seen an awful lot really from Forest Green. There's a little bit of pace on the flanks with Boyabu and also Etaluku as well. So they have got a little bit of pace out there, but then balls into the box, I'm not sure yet. Babalola hasn't shown too much with the ball at his feet, so we'll see. But you would think Luton ought to go on and get another couple maybe, and then you're starting to look, as Jeff was saying, about maybe seeing Al Hamadi getting a Doffin some more minutes, etc. But I think they'll want to keep a clean sheet again as well. I think that was a big thing last week. They were only 1 up there, of course, but there was a real effort late on to make sure that they preserve the lead, and that meant keeping a clean sheet, the Dauphin's leg clearance, all that sort of thing. So, I think they'll want to do that. And hopefully get some more at the other end. Good to see Naki Wells like Jerry Yates on Tuesday. Yates, it sort of hit him and went in on Tuesday, and Wells has just tapped one in. But that's what people have been crying out for. That's what they're here to do. We've been saying, we want them in the 6-yard box, knocking them in. I don't expect them to be here, there and everywhere. I just want them getting those tap-ins. That's what really they're there to do.
Right, it's a good time to score with Ali Al-Hamadi back on the bench, because we all think that Al-Hamadi could have probably got a championship move at least if he was fit, and it's come down to League One. So having your other forwards go with him coming back into fitness, going, no, actually I'm going to give Jack Wilshere a bit of a selection headache by scoring goals, is good for the side.
Yeah, places up for grabs, aren't they? If there's competition for places, and there is at the moment, because people are scoring and they're winning the games they're put into play. I think Jack Wilshere's saying that he felt a bit sorry last weekend, obviously for Makoso, who's left out altogether. He's on the bench today. Mads Anderson as well. When you're leaving players out who haven't done anything wrong, that's a difficult thing in itself to manage, but it shows you have got strength in depth. And we talk about the EFL trophy as being a bit of a pain sometimes, but that game this week has really helped Luton, because it's enabled them to play a strong team tonight, which then takes them forward into what is the essential part of the season. It's nice to have progress in the FA Cup and the trophy as well, because they ought to be going quite far into that trophy competition. But the league is the be all and end all, and if these two cup games can prepare them to be absolutely right for the game at Stockport, then they'll be all the better for it.
Now, Jeff, they do need to, I mentioned before, they need to stay professional and stay switched on, because as much as Luton do have a strong bench, there's an argument to be made that Forest Green Rovers' bench is slightly stronger than their starting 11. Robbie Savage made quite a few changes, brought in players that have been playing in non-league, I say non-league football, Forest Green Rovers are non-league, but further down the pyramid in the Macclesfield team. So there may be some threats off the bench for Forest Green Rovers that Luton are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, and he might do that quite early. Because they don't play midweek, Forest Green. So, like Luton, they've got over a week before their next National League game, which is why I am surprised he's made as many changes as he has done tonight, Robbie Savage, and he's kind of thrown Pagel, the goalkeeper, in at the deep end. Big game for the youngster from Ireland. He was playing for Swindon Supermarines not so long ago on loan, and now he's up against Luton Town in front of the TV cameras. It's not his fault they're losing 2-0, by the way, but that free kick he should have kept under his control, and he let it slip out, and Wales scores what could be a crucial second goal. But it's the centre-back pairing as well, which just is a bit odd to me, with Taylor and Innes on the bench, and you've got two in there that haven't really played together, Mendy and Kanu, and it's quite a young team that Forest Green have put out. So, it wouldn't surprise me if actually it's the visitors who make the first subs, and there may be a few of them as well, just to see if they can get back into the game. There's no way this game is over. The tie is still there. 45 minutes to go, and if Robbie Savage does make some changes, then they will be stronger for it, very probably. But Luton's bench is very good too.
It's sad to see. It's great for Luton fans that the second goal goes in, but it is slightly sad to see in a game like this for a team that are underdogs like Forest Green Rovers, with a goalkeeper who's coming in, who's young, who's not played much football for them, making an error. You don't want the goal to come necessarily from an error for a player like that, do you, in a game like this?
No, it was hard on him really, but that's the way he'll learn, I guess. Difficult conditions, and we said as soon as the free kick was awarded that we've seen Cohen Bramall take free kicks from not quite as far out as that, but it was worth a go, because if he can get it, because he was so far back, he was always going to get it up and over the wall, and then it would still be coming down, which it did, and it bounced right sort of into the goalkeeper. and there was Naki Wells to tap in. But it's one of those, given the conditions, where it's worth a go. And credit to Naki Wells, but the keeper could. Okay, he's made the mistake, but equally he could be saying to his defenders, look, where were you? Because Wells was absolutely on his own. No one else had anticipated that it might be on target from Bramall, and it might have been a harder one to save, where he's just sort of got to it and palmed it away, rather than spilled it, as it were. More of a good save, and still no defenders had made the move. I think, as we said in commentary, as soon as that free kick was awarded, he thought, well, here's a chance. Particularly, it's wet, it's windy, it's blowing right into the goalkeeper's face. He's a youngster. There's no sentiment. let's test him out. Well, how many times when you see a game, do you think, and the goalkeeper flaps at one, or he's a young kid on his debut or whatever, put him under pressure. You've got to put the ball in, got to test a goalkeeper, haven't you?
Yeah, and Luton would have known about this, Miles. This is what.
But I'm surprised they didn't do it before.
Yeah. These are what. There are so many analysts at football clubs these days that they would look at the team sheet and go through it, and they would then be saying, probably to Jack and to the coaching staff, listen, they're playing this youngster in goal who's hardly featured this season. They're playing two centre halves who don't normally play there. That's part of your tactics. It might not be in leading up to it, but on game day it certainly is. As again, Robbie Savage just walks out now and is chatting with one of the Luton players. I think it's Cal Naismith. And there's this sort of weird, sort of nicey stuff going on, which
you don't really want at half time.
Well, I don't understand it, because this is a football match. This is a contest. This is the FA Cup.
He's having a chat with Chris Powell now, isn't he, Rick?
Yeah.
It does. It's Forest Green Rovers, but it's very much Robbie Savage FC, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, let me hand back to you for the second half of Luton Town versus Forest Green Rovers, or if you just called it Robbie Savage FC. We're live on 5 Sports Extra, BBC Three Counties Radio, of course, and anywhere you go on BBC Sound, you can listen online. Your commentary team for the second half at Kenilworth Road, Simon Oxley and Jeff Doyle.
Yeah, thank you, Miles. As both teams are back out. I mean, Robbie Savage is one of those. I know we keep going on about him, but he's one of those characters that does normally have a smile on his face, and he's laughing and joking, and he knows everybody. Of course, he does. But just feels slightly strange that there's so much niceness out there at the moment. Where this is half time in a very serious cup competition. But he is going to make 2 changes, which is what we spoke about at half time. No massive surprise here. So let's see how they're going to shape up and see who it is, whether it is going to be some of the normal players that are coming on here. First one is McAllister. So McAllister comes on. I think that was for Etaluku. And the other one, 28 and 11. So that's Etaluku for 11, which is Knowles. Knowles is a regular, so Knowles will go and replace Etaluku on that right hand side, and then we'll see where McAllister fits into it as well. I think he's going to go and play central midfield, as Luton have something to deal with immediately here, and Keeley had to be alert there, because that ball was played forward quickly by Forest Green, and Keeley sprinted out and smothered it under a little bit of pressure, and the flag is up over on the far side. So a quick start from Forest Green.
There's a long ball played forward, and it sort of bounced awkwardly, and Longvik sort of tried a sort of diving header on the ground back to his goalkeeper, and the Forest Green player was almost in there. And Keeley did well, actually, to be alert. Otherwise that might have been just the start Forest Green were looking for to the second period.
So underway in this FA Cup tie. First round, live at Kenilworth Road. Throw for Forest Green, close to the corner flag, and the away side are kicking towards their away fans in that Oak Road end, away to our right hand side. In comes a long throw towards the 6-yard box. Luton win it in the air, and there's Naki Wells, who's got a goal and an assist tonight. He just clears, doesn't smash it away, just nudges it away, and Forest Green will pick up, and they'll go back to their goalkeeper Pagel. High clearance, straight down the middle of the pitch, and goalkeeper Keeley again has to come and deal with that one. The ball was drifting outside his penalty area, so he quickly punched it before it would have caused him any bother. Ball out of play on this near side. Luton leading by 2-0 with a Forest Green throw in. Luton trying to get the challenge in with Jones. The Hatters haven't made any substitutions at half time as Forest Green knocked the ball out of play for a Luton throw in the left back position. So the Hatters with Josh Keeley in goal. Back four is Cohen Bramall, Cal Naismith, Tedden Mengi and Nigel Longlake. In midfield, George Saville, Liam Walsh, and the scorer of the first goal, Lamine Fanay. And then up front it's Izzy Jones on the left, Jake Richards on the right, and Naki Wells as the striker. He was the one who did score the second goal. The bench for Luton is James Shea, Mads Anderson, Millie Ali, Jerry Yates, Ali Al-Hamadi, Hakeem Adoffin, Chris Makoso, Gideon Kodua and Zach Nelson. I'll run you through visitors Forest Green in just a second. Luton control on this near side, but ball is knocked out of play by Izzy Jones.
He made a bright start, didn't he? A couple of runs, but we were saying earlier that he hadn't had much of a look in for the rest of the half.
Ball played up, and this is headed away by Mengi. Forest Green pick up and play out to that left-hand side. It's a handball in there. Free kick to Luton. Luton close to the halfway line.
Looks as though Bouyabu has slotted back at left back, doesn't it? After being further forward in that first half. To quite good effect, actually. He looked a threat down that left-hand side. Just going back to Keeley, he does come for everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If someone races out of his area, I mean, at times you think, what on earth's he doing out there? But if you're a defender, at least you know every time he's going to come. He's not going to sit and wait.
Here's Walsh. Walsh playing square to Naismith. And now with Bramall. Bramall's going to clip it down the left side. It's a good ball towards Jones. Jones's first touch, not quite right, but it was a difficult one to deal with. Trying to get out under control at about knee level. Ball has come off of a Forest Green player for a throw-in on this near side, which Bramall is going to take. He'll get it back again, Bramall. He'll fall back. Has he won a throw, or has it come back off of him? I think it's come back off of him. So it will be a throw-in to the visitors. So they've taken off the fullback, Kengney, which is why Bouyabu has gone in at his regular position at left back as Naismith just gets caught there, which allowed the substitute McAllister to nick it off of him and try an ambitious long range volley from 25 yards. Didn't get it on target, and it goes behind for a goal kick, but just caught napping there. Naismith.
He was very much so, and Keeley was off his line and he did the right thing there. McAllister just had to try the snapshot with the keeper way off his line. If he gets that on target, it's in. You know, the keeper's in no man's land, and Naismith just sort of dithering about a bit and almost made to pay. They've started quite brightly this half, Forest Green.
Just changed their attack. I'll talk you through that in just a second. They have it in midfield now and play it up, exchanging passes, and good play from Forest Green, just getting through the Luton defence. Out towards the fullback now. Bouyabu, cross comes in and it was close to the striker, Babalola, and out of play it goes for a corner kick. That's Forest Green's best probably passage of play there.
Yeah, it's good defending by Naismith, just got in there ahead of the big striker. Done well there because he's giving about 6 inches to a foot in height. Naismith, he's done well just to flick that away. Good football actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Down that left side with Bouyabu getting forward from left back.
Babalola was the intended target. Corner kick, Forest Green, and it comes now, headed away by Luton. Just inside that 6-yard box through Richards. Now to play it goes for a Forest Green throw, about level with the Luton Town penalty area. The Hatters 2-0 up as they were at half time. We've played 5.5 minutes of this second half, and Forest Green have won another corner kick now down to that right hand side.
Well, he's clearly had a few words, hasn't he, Mr. Savage? Never short of words, and by the look of it, wasn't short of them at half time in there, because his side have come out very much refreshed. It's a bit of that and a bit of Luton not really getting out of second gear yet in this second half.
Yeah,
but let's credit the opposition for finding something more.
Bouyabu takes the corner kick. Again, it's Richards in that 6-yard area who heads away, bounces down. Bouyabu might get there. Combination of him and McAllister. McAllister stays close to him and will look to get the cross in, wearing a bandage on his left wrist is the substitute McAllister. Ball played into the box by Forest Green. Luton head towards the edge of the penalty area. Appeals for handball from those Forest Green supporters behind that goal. Nothing doing. And out comes Keeley to gather. So Forest Green line up like this. They have Pagel in goal. Very much the second choice goalkeeper. Back four has changed a little bit because Bouyabu is now playing at left back. Kengney has gone off at half time. Then they've got Mendy, Kanu and Pemberton as the rest of the back four. The midfield stays the same. Moore, Bunker and Whitwell. And then the attack has changed because Knowles is now playing on the left hand side, one of the substitutes. The other substitute, McAllister, is on the right, and the striker remains the same, Babalola. Forest Green defending this ball forwards. Narkiwell not going to get behind the captain of Forest Green tonight, Lauren Mendy, another former Macclesfield player. Can play central midfield, normally plays in central midfield for Forest Green, but can play centre back as well as Jones dispossesses Forest Green. Jones heads towards the edge of the penalty area. Is that a foul? No. It's going to drop down to Fanny though. Chance for Fanny. Back across rolls. Wells has to score, and Wells does score, and it's 3-0. And you feel that is going to seal the victory for Luton Town. The Hatters did well. Izzy Jones initially, then the ball played forwards. It looked as though Jones might score himself, but he cut it back across the 6-yard area, and Wells again is not going to miss from 2 yards out, and steered firmly in by the striker. Luton Town 3, Forest Green 0.
Yes, well done by Izzy Jones to win it back. Won it off Trey Pemberton. Almost got through himself, but he broke for Fanny down the left hand side, and just looking at it again on the monitor, he almost forced his way through, and I think it was Liam Walsh who prodded it through to Lamine Fanny. Helped on its way to Fanny. Fanny squares it across. Keeper's already come out, and Naki Wells just has to tap it in, and that's 2 tap-ins for Naki Wells. And without wishing to sound like a broken record, I've been banging on about that for weeks. You know, I want tap-ins. I want him and Jerry Yates tapping it in like Yates did on Tuesday, and you know, just get in the box to knock those ones in.
He's not going to score 2 easier goals, is he?
He's not, no.
2 tap-ins from 2 yards.
Yeah, and
pretty much.
And I think most fans would agree. You know, lovely though it is, and he does, you know, play well in approach play and all that sort of thing. But we're not looking for him to score one from 30 yards out. We're looking him to get one from 3 yards out.
Forest Green crossing in. Chance might open up for them now, but Walsh just comes and mops up. Luton are chasing after this one. Out comes the goalkeeper, Pagel. Pagel clears high, and Luton will allow it to go back to their goalkeeper, Josh Keeley. Well, Forest Green tried to play out there, didn't they? And Pemberton got dispossessed by Jones.
They started the half really well.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, but just a bit risky, wasn't it? Jones won the ball, and then it was eventually played into Fanny. Fanny did well actually, crossing in for Naki Wells to score from 2 yards. So Wells with a brace and an assist, and Fanny with a goal and an assist, and Luton leading 3-0. And very much in control of this FA Cup tie. Here's Fanny now down in front of us. Ball is going to come out of play. Yes, it is. Throw into Luton Town, who can relax, having got this 3-goal cushion. Lots to talk about Robbie Savage already tonight. You'll hear from Jack Wilshere. And don't forget, of course, BBC Sounds is the place to go to get all your Luton Town content, as Wells picks up on a hat-trick. Wells strikes, and that one just over the bar by a foot or so. All of our content now is found on BBC Sounds. If you search Luton Town, subscribe and have your push notifications turned on, then every piece of new material that goes in there, all the new content, the interviews and analysis goes in there, and you'll be pinged if you are subscribing. And that will then alert you to the fact that there's something new in there. So BBC Sound's the place to go for all your content on Luton Town, and indeed all of our clubs here at BBC Three Counties Radio. Saville knocking the ball down that right hand side, goes out of play for a Forest Green throw in. Still got plenty of time in this game. Luton Town might fancy a few goals tonight, side, just to add more confidence and belief.
Well, absolutely. I'm sure Wells had, as we saw a moment ago, he tried his luck from 20 yards out. Would dearly love to take home the match ball.
Is Pemberton for Forest Green.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. The way they clutch the ball when they do score a hat-trick, all these players, I don't think anyone's taking it off of them, as Bramall pushes aside the Forest Green Rovers player and clears, but they'll pick up again with McAllister. Luton knocked the ball out of play over on the far side, but Savage did talk about this not being a free hit for Forest Green. He wanted his team to come here and
well, they
really
have in this half, haven't they? You know, in fairness, after half time.
Yeah. Forest Green pick up on the halfway line, trailing by 3-0. Luton trying to put the visitors under pressure. Forest Green Rovers will go back to their goalkeeper, Pagel.
If you're wondering if there's some interference on the line, it's a steward standing about 2 yards from us with a very loud radio.
This ball played down the left-hand side, and Forest Green are attacking, looking to cross in now. Luton Town get the block in. They'll still try and persist over in that far corner. Fair play to those Forest Green fans who are still giving their team a lift and still feel there's hope. Giving them
well, they're attacking
too.
that end, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you know, they've seen a little bit of attacking intent or more in this half, certainly. And they've gone close a couple of times, and then of course Luton got the other end and taken their chance.
Don't worry, I've just shooed away the steward.
Have you?
I gave him a look.
Yeah.
I gave him a Paddington Bear stare.
Oh, hello, couple of change or one change. 2 more changes, I think. Innes coming on.
Yeah, well, so the main centre half now coming on feels a little bit too late, but anyway, he's going to come on for, I think that's Kanu who's coming off. And the other one, 27 and 17, so Babalola coming off, and Deutsch will come on
for Babalola, big striker. Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, couldn't quite get in the game, could he, Babalola?
Odd that he's gone off with the free kick about to be taken, which is effectively a corner.
Yeah, about 7 yards in from that corner, and comes the delivery. Far post it goes, but it's too high and behind the Luton goal for a goal kick to the Hatters, who lead by 3-0.
He was fired into the back post looking for Ryan Innes. Once a Luton Town player.
Played once, I think, didn't he?
Yes, in the league, I think. Played in the FA Trophy. 2014.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, in the conference. Back in the conference days, he was on loan from Charlton, I think. Or possibly Palace.
He was at Charlton, wasn't he?
Yes. I think perhaps he was on loan from Palace. John Still got him in, but yeah, he picked up an injury, I think, in Luton's title-winning season. He was one of many who played alongside Steve McNulty.
Yes, Steve McNulty, Luton Town non-league legend. Luton keeping possession and doing nicely. Here's Naismith curling one forwards, doesn't reach an orange shirt, and so Forest Green head away with McAllister. Jack Wilshere watches on.
Mr. Al-Hamadi is coming on in a minute.
Oh, that's interesting. As Jack Wilshere now just chips the ball up into the hands of Bramall. Won the FA Cup twice for Arsenal in successive years, 2014 and 2015. Jack Wilshere also won the FA Youth Cup with them when he was even younger. James Shea was in the same team.
Yes.
The Luton reserve goalkeeper who's on the bench tonight. Walsh trying to clear up here, and Hatters go backwards to Naismith. Naismith just got caught in possession there a little bit, and so McAllister picks up for visitors Forest Green, who spray it out to the left-hand side, and here is Mendy down that left-hand side for the fullback. Uyuba. Forest Green attacking into the penalty area. Striker goal goes in. There may have been a little deflection there. It possibly may have come off of Mengi, and it's the Forest Green players who celebrate now, and they've got one back, and we thought this game was over, but maybe not so, because the substitute had scored, Knowles, who cut him from that left-hand side. I think that gets deflected off of Mengi. Whatever happens, it's Luton Town 3, Forest Green 1.
It's a great strike, really sweet strike. He cuts back into the box. Does it get a little touch off? Can't really see from this angle. We might get a better view from here. Might have come off Mengi. Keeper sort of dived across, and then it goes past him. Al-Hamadi coming on.
Al-Hamadi on, and also
Zach Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson for Walsh. So Nelson for Walsh, and Al-Hamadi comes on for the Hatters. Who did Al-Hamadi replace there? Maybe Izzy Jones, is it? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, Izzy Jones, the other one to make way. So Jones off, Al-Hamadi on. Is he going to stay on this left-hand side, Al-Hamadi? Looks like it at the moment, rather than go straight up front alongside Wells. And then Nelson into that midfield area to replace Walsh. 3-1. Game back on.
Yeah, it was a good finish. You couldn't really see whether Mengi sort of dived across and unsighted the keeper. Here they come again.
Crossing from that left-hand side is too strong and out of play. He either got a touch, or he was really quite close, Mengi, to his goalkeeper, and it may well have just put him off.
Yeah.
Either way, whether he got a touch or not, he was stood right in front of Keeley.
Yeah, I think the first, it sort of bypassed one defender. I don't think there was a touch on that. Might have been Longvik. But yeah, whether Mengi just sort of got across and just unsighted Keeley. Don't think he got a touch on it.
No, it'll definitely go down as a Knowles goal.
Yeah.
Because it was on target in any case. And Knowles did well, actually, cutting in from that left-hand side. And he curled it in with quite a lot of pace.
Yeah, it was a good hit.
Keeley just seemed to be undecided as to...
He sort of dived the wrong way, and it was as if it had been deflected.
Yeah.
Just unsighted, I think.
Anyway, Forest Green are given a bit of a lifeline. And while all that was going on, Al-Hamadi now on. So interesting to see how this shapes up. Simon Oxon, myself, Jeff Daw with you tonight on BBC Three Counties Radio on all of our frequencies. BBC Sounds, so you can listen online on your phone or your tablet or your smartphone or whatever, or your laptop. And we're on 5 Sports Extra as well. Al-Hamadi is lined up on this left-hand side.
Yeah, there's been a lot of anticipation about him, and he was the marquee signing in the transfer window for Matt Bloomfield, who had him, of course, or played alongside him at Wickham, and he's done good things with Ipswich. Played some Premier League football, picked up an injury, which was how Luton were able to get him, I think, really. They were able to sort of take the gamble that he would be fit, and I'm sure they were probably thinking he might have been fit a little bit earlier than this. Where are we? End of October. Might have thought about the beginning of October, perhaps. But anyway, here he is.
He, of course, made a name for himself at AFC Wimbledon, where he scored a lot of goals for AFC Wimbledon. Then got the move to Ipswich. Last time I saw him was at Stoke when he was on loan there. And he had a reasonable spell there whilst with Ipswich. And now a Luton Town player, as the Hatters are trying to win the ball inside their own half, but there's a foul. This will be a free kick to Forest Green, and a chance for the visitors to deliver this one into the penalty area. Robbie Savage is having a blast at the fourth official. Well, you've got your free kick. Maybe he wanted a bit more than that.
Well, he got a booking for Fane. He was picked up a yellow card for kicking the ball away, I think.
Dulshu was skillful on the ball. A little roulette in there. I think it was Naismith who caught him. Free kick. Fane was booked there, was he?
Yeah.
Dulshu's
he
just
sort of carried
on
after the whistle had gone. He didn't really kick it away, he just carried on playing.
65.5 minutes on the scoreboard. Luton 3, Forest Green 1, and a free kick for Forest Green to curl in towards the Luton Town penalty area. In comes the delivery from McAllister. Good one. Ball goes up in the air, but there's a foul in there, and this will be a free kick to Luton Town, who've got a good record against Forest Green. Played them 12 times. They've won 8 of those games and only have been beaten once. haven't met for a while, just because of the different divisions these two teams have been in the last few years. The last meeting was back in 2018 in League 2. Luton won that one, and that completed the double that season over Forest Green. Thrown on this near side to the visitors. We've been talking about quite a few empty seats here. The attendance tonight, 4,511. 462 away supporters, so less than half full. Here come Forest Green away down the right hand side. Into the penalty area they go. Mengi's caught his player. It's got to be a penalty kick, and it will be a penalty kick. Mengi got caught the wrong side, and then he clipped him, and there's just nothing else that can be possibly given other than a penalty. And Forest Green have a wonderful opportunity to get another one back and get to 3-2.
Well, Mengi was done there in midway inside his own half. It's a good run, sort of dummy from Whitwell, and then he carried on the run. Mengi was struggling to get back, tried to sort of haul him back earlier on, and then into the box, just sort of cut across him, made contact. Penalty. No doubt about it. Nobody's arguing.
Well, there is no argument.
No.
Mengi, I think, is annoyed because I think he nutmegged him.
Yes, he did. Yeah, sort of dummied it, didn't he?
Yeah. And I think he was annoyed with that. Anyway, it's going to be McAllister to take this penalty kick up against Josh Keeley in front of the away fans. McAllister will score, smashes it into the bottom right corner, and we have game on at Kenilworth Road. Halfway through this second half, Luton was strolling at 3-0 up, and now suddenly, with just over 20 minutes to go, it's 3-2 and game on, and Simon will take you to full time.
Well, I thought this second commentary shift would be fairly straightforward, really. 3-0 up, fairly comfortable, but Forest Green have come out and are playing this second half, started the half well, and despite going 3 down, have persevered, pulled one back, and that's a clear penalty, and what a good penalty as well from McAllister. Keeley went the right way, but he's drilled that into the bottom corner. Here's Nelson now flicking it forward towards Naki Wells, but keeper comes out to gather it. But tell you what, all the play this half has been down that end. Luton fans at the Kenilworth end here appearing into the middle distance, because all the play has been down at the Oak Road end, where Forest Green have been attacking. 3-2 now, goodness me.
And they're stronger, as we said, because they brought on some of the normal players, if you like.
They've brought on their good players.
And hey presto, look what happens.
Well, 3-2. Luton with work to do here. Naismith curls it down the touchline. It's gone out of play. He'll come back in. Pemberton wants to take the throw quickly. He does so. Back to Innis. And there's real urgency about Forest Green now. Really fancy their chances here, Robbie Savage's side. 69 minutes gone. Luton 3, Forest Green 2. Well, we mentioned extra time and penalties, never thinking it might come to that, but you never know. Robbie Savage heading the ball back to one of his players to take the throw quickly. Innis has it now inside his own half, and they are looking right up for this, the National League side. Mendy now coming forward down that left-hand side. Mendy again on halfway. Mendy under pressure from Naki Wells, and Mendy then drives it forward, and here's McAllister who's just scored that penalty. Pemberton breaking forward down the right-hand side, and here's Knowles now, who pulled that first goal back, gets the cross in, it's deflected behind, is it? No, he's sliced it behind. It'll be a goal kick, and Luton just gathering themselves a little bit here, and some of the experienced players, George Saville there just trying to gee everybody up and get them going. And there's a double change now for Luton. Yates is going to come on in place of Naki Wells, so no hat-trick for Naki Wells. Jerry Yates coming on to just freshen things on a little bit up front, and the other change will be Gideon Kodua coming on in place of Jake Richards. So they'll look to use Kodua's pace to get forward in place of Richards. So Jack Wilshere makes another couple of changes. Kodua and Yates coming on for Richards and Wells. Mengi in possession to Cal Naismith. Naismith back again to Mengi inside his own penalty area. 20 minutes to go with this FA Cup first round tie, which all of a sudden has come to life here with Forest Green pulling 2 goals back, 3 down. with Wells's second just after half-time. But they've pulled it back now to 3-2, the National League side. Luton throw, headed away, flicked on by Whitwell, cleared upfield by Naismith, headed away by Pemberton. Bramall heads it down. It's touch inside from Zach Nelson, who was caught late as he got the ball away. Free kick to Luton just over the halfway line, and the home fans just sensing that the players might need a little vocal encouragement at 3-2 all of a sudden.
Well, yeah, because the fans we could hear before this little burst from the Luton supporters were the Forest Green fans making the noise away to our right-hand side, who now have hope. Luton are going to have to step back on it again. Kodua will come on just to give them that bit more pace up top.
Well, he lost possession, now he's got it back again, Kodua. Down that right-hand side, he tries to play it into Yates. Yates had just run in the wrong direction, and the pass goes through to Pagel in the Forest Green goal. Forest Green giving it away, though. Saville whips it in, looking for Nelson. Hooked away by Mendy up towards the halfway line, where it bounces out of play. Just by Jack Wilshere. It's Forest Green preparing, I think, another change on this near side. Yeah, another change for the visitors. Coming on is Balagizi, and he's come on in place of Isaac Moore. Liverpool loanee James Balagizi. Bramall with a throw for Luton, headed away at the back by Pemberton for Forest Green. Dausch has just been dispossessed. Bramall flicks it forward left-footed, headed away by Ryan Ennis. Headed away by Saville for Luton. Bit of a scrap in midfield at the moment. Saville finds Bramall. Bramall's pass is short, though, and Forest Green are away down the right-hand side. Bramall giving chase as breaking forward there is Harry Whitwell, who can't quite keep it in, and it'll be a Luton throw. So it's coming more down this right side, isn't it, at the moment? Bramall and Naismith not quite at it at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit of a loose pass from Bramall, that one. It looked a bit tired from Bramall.
Well, he played, didn't he, on Tuesday as well? Well, a half, didn't he? Only a half. Here come Forest Green again. 3-2 now to Luton. Flicked forward towards Pemberton. Pemberton right edge of the area. Gets the crossing. Blocked by Mengi. Mengi then will clear right-footed. Brought under control by Al-Hamadi. Still inside his own half. Al-Hamadi rolls it across to Longvite. Longvite plays it early for Kodua. Down the right-hand side. And away goes Gideon Kodua. Up towards the edge of the Forest Green penalty area. Kodua flicks it forward looking for Fane, is cleared, comes out to Saville. Saville, little short pass to Bramall. Bramall out to this left hand side now to Al-Hamadi. Al-Hamadi, little short pass into Zach Nelson. Nelson, Bramall in support. Nelson goes back to Saville, and Luton just keeping possession. Rather lost momentum. A few moans and groans from the crowd as Luton go back to the halfway line, having been on the edge of the penalty area. Fane keeps it back to Naismith. 74 minutes gone, but Luton forced back into their own half. Now Naismith flicks it forward. Nelson brings it under control. He's tackled, but it breaks for Al-Hamadi. Al-Hamadi plays it back to Longvike. Longvike drills it forward looking for Kodua, but easy for Boyabu. And he eventually gets the ball away, but slips, and Yates has it now and rolls it in towards Kodua inside the box, but overhits it, Jerry Yates, and it goes through for a goal kick. But when Luton put the pressure on Forest Green, particularly when they're in possession, it looks as though they can win the ball back off them if Forest Green trying to play out. But likewise at the other end, Forest Green look more than capable of going on again.
Well, I mean, they've got nothing to lose now, have they? Just over 15 minutes to go, 3-2 down. They can really just go and push men on, and Luton will be forced then to go and mark them and drop a bit deeper. So this is going to be a critical 15 minutes.
Well, it is. You feel that Robbie Savage will be thinking, well, we might as well, lose 4-2, trying to make it 3-3.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So Luton might then just try and go for counter-attacking goals.
We'll see. Forest Green have won it back inside the Luton half. Pemberton down the right-hand side, flicks it forward, but won't quite fall there for Dausch. And it goes through to Keeley. 75 minutes gone. It's Luton 3, Forest Green 2 on BBC Three Counties Radio. Digital and FM, plus online via BBC Sounds, 5 Sports Extra. Very good evening to you wherever you're listening to this FA Cup first round tie, which was looking comfortable for Luton. 2-0 up at half time, 3-0 soon after the break, but 3-2 now. Here's Saville, little short pass, was giving it away. As you can hear, people not happy about that, certainly the home fans. And Forest Green now coming forward down their left-hand side once again. Can they get the cross into the box? Low ball driven into the edge of the 6-yard area, away by Saville. Kodjo then loses it. Forest Green win it back on the edge of the box. Here's McAllister, but tackled by Saville. McAllister, though, tugged him back, and that'll be a free kick to Luton on the edge of their penalty area. Good pressing from the National League side.
Yeah, a bit harsh on them as well, that one. Didn't look too much in it, but Saville just using his experience almost to draw the foul in.
Tackled by Mendy on Yates, but Nelson's won it backwards unfairly. Free kick to Forest Green, back inside their own half. So the non-league side here certainly acquitting themselves in this second half. And we'll be hoping for more of the same from our non-league sides tomorrow. We'll bring you news of Hemel Hempstead at Wigan, St Albans at Burton, Bournemouth against Crawley. And what's happening down here? Referees coming across. As somebody said something. Well, Robbie Savage is being spoken to by the referee and is being yellow carded. Well, it is shortly pantomime season, and he is pretty much the panto villain, isn't he? Not sure what that was about. Did he say something to the fourth official? Well, he's shrugging his shoulders.
He almost can't help himself,
well,
can he?
He can't. But you see, the focus should be on what's happening on the pitch. They've got a great chance here. He's almost deflecting attention, but maybe that's what he's trying to do. Innes plays it in towards the edge of the box, away by Longvik, but not very well. And Luton, well, that's a better challenge from Longvik, but Luton can't seem to deal with it. They get closed down very quickly on the edge of their box. Nelson putting pressure on now as Forest Green try to play out and lose it. Kodjo nips in to win it back, but Nelson allows it to roll out of play when he could have kept it in there, Nelson, and played it over to Kodjo. Anyway, easy from here. 78 minutes gone, 3-2 to Luton. Yeah, he's still arguing with the fourth official, Robbie Savage.
Yeah, Jack Wilshere, I think, wants his team now just to have an element of control out there.
Kodjo, little dummy, can't get away.
Yeah, and that's not what you want to see. Just get on the ball and keep possession. Get the control back in this game.
Here's Naismith. Naismith pings it out to this left-hand side towards Al-Hamadi. Al-Hamadi tries to take it in his stride, but loses out to Pemberton. Pemberton clips it forward. It's a flick back inside towards McAllister. McAllister blocks it. Seemed to be with his arm. Referee says play on. And they're through again here. Forest Green inside the box. Diving in was Bramall. Stayed on his feet. The Forest Green attacker still not clear and driven in. And it's the equaliser for Forest Green. Goodness me. Luton tried to clear it numerous times, but it's been driven in by Aidan Dausch, the substitute. They got away down that right-hand side, Forest Green. It looked as though there might have been a foul in there, but he stayed on his feet. I think it was Whitwell who burst forward. Luton at 6s and 7s at the back. And all of a sudden it's 3-3 and there's still 10 minutes to go. And if you were picking a winner, you'd be picking Robbie Savage's Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah, I mean, that was again a really well worked move from Forest Green. Again, McAllister does really well to get the little header in on goal. It drops down, Luton can't clear. They had a couple of opportunities to clear. McAllister nips in, gets the header. Longvik can only just push it away, but only inside the penalty area. And it's a great finish from Dausch, who just slams it on the volley, and there's absolutely no chance for Josh Keeley. The magic of the cup, eh?
Well, absolutely that. Hope you didn't have any plans for later, because we might have extra time. Luton 3, Forest Green 3. Well, treat has turned into trick. Keeley clears the ball upfield, right-footed for Luton, who haven't really threatened, apart from scoring that one goal, haven't really threatened in this half. Long range effort with Keeley off his line, and it's gone well wide, but it was worth a go from Tom Knowles on the halfway line. Spotted Keeley. Tell you what, that's on target. It's in.
That's in if that's on target, because he's a long way off his line.
Keeley.
We've spoken about Keeley in the past, who is always a long way off his line, and teams have noticed that and have been starting to do that against him. Now, this is a question who wants it more now. It's 3-3. Forest Green have wanted it much more in the last 20 minutes. This will really disappoint Wiltshire.
Keeley's clearance. It's a test now for Luton and these players who are out on the pitch. It's made some changes, Wiltshire, but those who are on the pitch have now got to deliver. Longvite with the throw, far side. Luton 3 up, now it's 3-3. Fanay away down the right-hand side, having his shirt tugged. Still Fanay down that right-hand side. No foul given, much to the annoyance of the home fans. Knowles drives it forward because he knows McAllister's away down the right-hand side. Bramall gets a foot in, McAllister holds it up. Still McAllister, Pemberton takes over. Bramall wins it back for Luton, and now here's Saville. And this is going to be end-to-end for the last 9 minutes or so, because I don't think either side will want extra time. Longvike far side, back to Saville. Luton might have to settle for it though, the way it's going. Back to Keeley. Luton 3, Forest Green 3. Coming up to 82 minutes gone at Kenilworth Road in this FA Cup first round tie. Long ball forward from Mengi towards Al-Hamadi, headed away by Pemberton. Throw to Luton. Al-Hamadi will leave it for Cohen Bramall to take on this left hand side. Bramall to take the throw. Crowd doing their bit. Kenilworth End encouraging the team as Fanay flicks the ball on, headed away by Pemberton. Comes out to Jerry Yates, lashed away up towards the halfway line by Knowles. And that ball has gone out of play for a Forest Green throw. McAllister's going to take it. No, he's going to leave it for Pemberton.
I mean, Al-Hamadi has come on just to get a bit of sharpness, to get some fitness, but I mean, he
nowhere near.
He looks a long way off it, doesn't it? Which is,
so you almost are playing a man light.
Yes, because he's just getting a feel for it more than anything else, because I thought that it was game over.
McAllister bundled over by Naismith. Naismith head in hands with the decision maybe, but more with the fact that he actually made the challenge. Needless free kick, which will be swung in from this right hand side. And big Ryan Innes is ambling forward. He's about a foot taller. Well, he's taller than the big centre forward who's now gone off, hasn't he? Babalola. Innes is towering above everybody. I don't remember him being that tall when he was here.
No, he is huge, isn't he? I mean, they play in green.
He's obviously grown.
And Jolly Green Giant springs to mind.
Well, here's the free kick. McAllister's going to take it. He's made a big difference, hasn't he?
Been very good.
Couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline for Forest Green, almost level with the edge of the Luton area. Here comes the free kick, 3-3, swung in towards the back post and tipped over by Keeley as the header came in at the back post. I think at the back post it was Buyaboo who was there and tipped away by Keeley. Had to make the save there, Josh Keeley. Head in hands, Robbie Savage. He thought that was in.
I think it's hit the crossbar, hasn't it?
Got a little touch, Keeley, but maybe onto the bar. Did he just clip the bar? Anyway, here's the corner. McAllister whips it in towards the near post, headed out by Al-Hamadi, who then falls over the advertising board, kicks it in frustration. Oh, that's the FA Cup sponsors board. They won't be happy with that. He's tipped it right over. He can't read what it says. Surprised we're not interrupting the game to turn it over in this day and age. Anyway, here's another corner. McAllister, left-footed, swings it in again, headed away by Al-Hamadi. McAllister volleys it back into the mix. Keeley's come, doesn't get there, and it's smashed over by Knowles. Couldn't keep the shot down. Saw his chance there for glory, Knowles. Keeley sort of palmed it away. Robbie Savage can't look, but his side are very much on top as Luton come forward with Nelson now just over the halfway line. Back to Bramall. Now Al-Hamadi on this near side is tackled but wins the throw. Al-Hamadi will leave it for Bramall to take.
Those two set pieces from McAllister were absolutely bang on the money. The free kick was brilliant delivery. Buyaboo hitting the crossbar, and then the corner's another really good one.
Al-Hamadi now down the left-hand side. Ali Al-Hamadi trying to get onto his left foot to get the cross in. Tackled by Pemberton. Still going Al-Hamadi. And Pemberton emerges with the ball, and McAllister will lash it upfield towards the substitute who made it 3-3. Dausch. Throw to Luton on this near side now as the Hatters come forward. Feeling they've got to just trying to exert some authority here, Luton Town. 2 up at half-time. 3-0 just after the break, but 3-3 now, and we've got 4 minutes to go plus added time before we go into extra time. Mistake by Al-Hamadi allows Forest Green to hook the ball forward. Knowles plays it forward, but the referee's seen a foul and will give the free kick to Forest Green. Could have played on, really, but I think they're happy enough to take the free kick back inside their own half.
Luton keep giving the ball away. They are really under pressure, Luton, at the moment.
These fans of the Kenilworth End have literally seen the goal, and that's been about it this half.
The ball has been camped in Luton's half.
They've utterly dominated this second spell, Forest Green Rovers.
I think the disappointing one is Luton's second goal that they conceded, where Mengi has given away a needless penalty.
Yeah.
Just see if he can finish it. Don't foul him. See if he can finish from a fairly tight angle.
Free kick to Forest Green Rovers. Inside their own half, it'll be launched forward. 86, nearly 87 minutes gone, 3-3. Knowles drives it forward down that left-hand side. Boo is after it down by the corner flag, can't keep it in. And it'll be a throw to Luton down by that corner flag, far side away from us. Well, it was all going so well, wasn't it? 3-0 up. I was looking to see, draws Monday evening. What ball number? But, if you were putting your house on one side or the other, my house would be on Forest Green Rovers at the moment. Here's Al-Hamadi, prods it forward, Innis stabs it away, ricochets off Yates and goes out of play. They're the ones very much in the ascendancy.
Yeah, they are. As we approach
I mean, Luton might be able to might be better waiting for extra time, try and regroup a bit for that.
And I think if they can get to 90 minutes, Luton regroup, and then sometimes extra time can be a bit sort of stalemate-ish, where teams are just a little bit scared about trying to go and win the game because they're worried about getting caught.
Hooked forward by Saville. Yates is after it, headed away by Mendy. Kodju has kept it in over on the far side, and referee's now called a halt because there's a Luton player, Longvike, down injured. I think Knowles caught him late. He's off the pitch, Longvike, but referee, rather than allowing Luton to carry on, or that they had the ball, has decided to show a card to Knowles. First Forest Green player to get a yellow card. Of course, the manager's already got one, but then the odds on that were probably fairly short. 88 minutes gone. 3-3.
I mean, Jack Wilshere looks thoroughly fed up. Probably can't believe what he's watching.
Longvike plays the ball forward towards Yates, hooked away by Mendy, edge of the area, volleys it away. Laura Mendy, nice piece of skill. Longvike heads it forward again. Kodua brings it under control, flicks it forward to Nelson. Nelson lays it off. Yates tries to get the cross in, blocked by the defender. Spins out of play for a Luton corner. And Luton now with a set piece, a rare opportunity in this second period to try and retake the lead with a minute to go plus added time. Saville to take it far side. Well, plenty forward, everybody back for Forest Green. Some Luton players waiting on the edge of the penalty area. George Saville to take the corner, far side in front of the David Priest stand. Luton attacking the Kenilworth end. Well, that was the idea in this second half. Haven't been much of it, but here's the corner. Saville whips it in left-footed. Keeper comes, gets nowhere near. Mendy heads it away. Keeper's asking the referee for the foul. He got absolutely nowhere near it, did he? And no one was near him, Pagel. Ball's back with Keeley now. Keeley preparing to clear upfield, right-footed. Pemberton underneath it, allows it to bounce, and it goes through to Al-Hamadi down the left-hand side, but he's offside, Ali Al-Hamadi. And we're approaching added time. And Robbie Savage's friend, the fourth official, Alan Dale, is going to let us know. 6 minutes. Well, there's been lots of substitutions, so that's probably about right. 6 minutes.
Yeah, hasn't been much. Hasn't been many stoppages, so that seems quite a high amount to me. But there we go.
Yeah, there's been no injuries, has there? But apart from all the goal celebrations for Forest Green. Clearance upfield from Pagel, the Forest Green goalkeeper. 3-3 in added time at Kenilworth Road. Ball's gone out of play. Luton throw. but back inside their own half. I think Luton will be quite happy to see extra time in some ways. They can just regroup, regather. Whereas Forest Green might feel that the break before extra time might just halt their momentum a little bit. We'll see. But they've done so well to get back into this. Goals from Knowles, McAllister from a penalty spot, and Dosh. After Fanay, Wells and Wells again had given Luton a 3-0 lead. 3-3.
But if you compare the substitutions, Simon, it's very clear. Their substitutes have made a huge impact, and Luton's haven't.
Innis tussling with Al-Hamadi. Innis hooks the ball away. He's about a foot taller. Al-Hamadi now back to Saville. Saville first time ball forward towards Kodua. Kodua trying to take it in his stride. Breaks for Yates. Plays it through. Kodua scores! And may spare Luton's blushes, Gideon Kodua. Forest Green couldn't deal with it. The ball played back in towards the edge of the box. And there was Jerry Yates to feed it through to Gideon Kodua. And his third goal of the season may send Luton through to round 2. But goodness me, that's harsh on Forest Green Rovers. Luton have got out of jail big time. Gideon Kodua, Luton 4, Forest Green 3.
It's a good finish from Kodua. Had to still do a little bit there. Luton eventually got the ball forwards. It's hardly been anywhere near the penalty area. Kodua almost broke through himself, and that's a good ball from Yates. Really clever ball. Other strikers might have thought about shooting themselves, but Kodua had a little bit of space, and Jerry Yates' pass is a really good one. I mentioned the substitutes earlier, and Forest Green's substitutes who've made the big impact, and there finally 2 of Luton's substitutes come and deliver, and Kodua scores what could be the winning goal. Very interesting reaction from Jack Wilshere. He's just been shaking his head in annoyance.
Yeah, that it's
come to this.
Indeed. Yeah, we were talking at 3-0, weren't we, about, well, Luton might fancy getting a few goals here, etc., etc. But Forest Green were on top from the very start of the second half, and they'll try now to get another equaliser. Long throw, headed away by Saville. Headed back in towards the edge of the area. McAllister hooks it forward in towards the penalty area, but Keeley's come out to gather as Mengi was wrestling with one of the Forest Green players to prevent him getting on the end of the ball into the area. 3 minutes of added time played. 4-3 to Luton. Keeley wallops it forward right-footed. Headed away by Pemberton. Yates will pick up the loose ball. Still Yates, dispossessed on this near side though by Whitwell, who's done superbly to break and place it forward out to that left-hand side. Knowles is herring after it as fast as he can, just keeps it in by the corner flag, whips in the cross. Keeley makes the catch. Great counter-attack, a little bit higher, and there's Innis who's pushed forward at the back post, and he'd have got up and might have headed it in, but that's a good counter-attack. But again, they've lost possession,
Luton are making it hard for themselves. It was Yates there. Yates should know better than that. He's been playing championship football for years, and he's just given the ball away needlessly just beyond the halfway line. Right in front of Jack Wilshere, who again was not at all amused.
Well, another change for Luton. Lamine Fanay is coming off, and is that Dauphin, I think, coming on, just to try and just to waste a bit of time, to be honest. Dauphin coming on for the last few minutes. Fanay, who opened the scoring and then set up Wells for the third when it all looked so easy. Then it became 3-3. Now it's 4-3, and we've got just over a minute of added time to go. Yates flicking the ball on. Al-Hamadi in there as well. He's come off Al-Hamadi, and it goes out of play for a goal kick, and this will be just about last chance for Forest Green Rovers, who have dominated this second half, but will, as things stand, be heading out of the FA Cup. Despite a brave effort here, can they muster one more chance? Bunker clears the ball upfield. Referee's given the free kick for the foul on Whitwell on this near side, and Robbie Savage is waving everybody forward. He's waving the goalkeeper forward. Well, he's box office. I'll give him that on this near side. It's great entertainment. But
And you can't miss him either, can you? That mop of blonde hair.
Yeah, and that suit. Here's McAllister, launches it into the Luton Town penalty area. Keeper's up for it. Heads it on. Here's the chance. Oh, and he's put it wide. What a chance for 4-4. And it's Dausch who got the equaliser before. I think the keeper got his head to it.
Yeah, the keeper won it in the air.
Keeper headed it on into the box. There were two players and they left it for Dausch, and he's missed an easier one than he scored with. Keeper flicks it on. He's through 1-on-1 and he puts it wide, doesn't even hit the target. Oh, what a chance for 4-4. And Luton cannot believe their luck. They're through to the second round surely now, but goodness me, they've made hard work of it. Goal kick from Keeley. Will they get one more chance, Forest Green? Luton hanging on here. Here's Al-Hamadi on this near side. Al-Hamadi plays the ball back to Bramall. Bramall flicks it forward down the left-hand side. Nelson down the left-hand side will just keep it by the corner flag, Zach Nelson. Over on that, down this left-hand side, down by the corner flag, he's flicked it out of play, and I think that will be it. Surely now that might be the last chance. Keeper's long clearance. We've had now 7 minutes of added time. Mengi heads the ball away, so we've had an extra minute of added time. Referee has his whistle in his mouth, and it's finally full time after what appeared to be a routine win for Luton became a dramatic cup tie, and a really good cup tie. And if I'm brutally honest, they deserve extra time, Forest Green, and should have had it. What a chance at the death there, and he's missed it. Dausch
Had to score that, didn't he? Ball dropped down to him on the volley. Looked like he had to just volley it in, but he's misconnected, and Luton get away with it. Oh, they definitely deserve extra time, the visitors, no doubt about that. Better team in the second half by a long way. Luton hanging on. Jack Wilshere would have hated that second half. I'm looking forward to speaking to him, or whoever speaks to him, because I think he won't be happy with that performance from Luton. We've had our money's worth. The TV have had their money's worth as well. It's, this cup competition, it keeps dishing out the treats, doesn't it?
It does. Remarkable. My daughter's at the game today. She's actually sat in the Oak Road end. Well, she's got her money's worth down that end. She's had the 2 Luton goals in the first half and all the Forest Green. I mean, I would say 80% of the second half has been down there.
Yeah.
I've got a stiff neck looking down there. And there was nothing up this end, was there?
No.
Well, ridiculous. I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous. Apart from 2 goals, but that was about it.
Well, that was the only 2 chances that Luton created early on in the second half to go 3-0 up. Wells scores, and it feels like, well, that's game over. Now time for the substitutes and canter to the win. But I tell you what, fair play to Forest Green. That was a terrific second half performance from them. And all 3 of their goals scored by their substitutes, Knowles, McAllister and Dausch. And just as it looks like it's going to extra time, Luton with a little bit of quality eventually from Yates, and then Kodua, who finishes, gets the Hatters out of a bit of a hole. I mean, they win in the end, which is the main thing. They get through.
Win without playing particularly well in the second half. They managed it very well in the first half. The second half, very much second best, but found a way to win. If we're looking for positives, and I'm sure Jack Wilshere will say that, but equally he will also recognise the fact that his team were very much outplayed in that second half. And I think for the number of the Luton fans here who have stayed behind, and not many have incidentally, to clap their team, which they have done, they've won the game, they're through to the second round. I think quite a few will stay to applaud Forest Green Rovers, because a lot of these supporters will remember days in the National League. And fair play to the National League side, who have had a right go. Even at 3-0 they could have thought, oh well, we'll be back on the bus soon and heading back on that hideous journey to Nailsworth.
Yeah, through those Cotswold villages,
whichever way they chose to go.
Yeah.
But actually, they've had a right go.
I mean, Dausch looks heartbroken.
Yeah,
they're all cuddling him, trying to console him, because he knows he's missed a huge chance to take this to extra time. But sometimes this does happen to the non-league clubs. You know, they play really well. It looks like they're going to get, you know, what they deserve, and then Luton, with one bit of quality right at the end, go and finish it off.
Yeah, Forest Green players heading over to their supporters, who have given them, or are giving them, a splendid round of applause, and deservedly so. And I think those Hatters fans who sort of gather around the tunnel will applaud them off as well, because that was a sterling effort in that second period. Gideon Kodjua being interviewed for TV out on the pitch. That was a good finish, in fairness.
Yeah, it was
nicely
a good finish.
set up by Jerry Yates.
Yeah.
But, you know, they've taken their 2 chances in the half, Luton, but goodness me, in between they've had their defence pulled left and right and back to front.
That's what you'd expect from Jerry Yates, though, isn't it? Someone with his ability and his experience. When he received that ball edge of the penalty area, others could have shot. Maybe an inexperienced player might have shot himself, but he spotted that Kodjua had just peeled away again, and he found the little gap for him, and then Kodjua did the rest and converted smartly. Good finish from Kodjua. And Forest Green, yeah, I mean, maybe it was part of the game plan from Robbie Savage that he would start weak and end up stronger. You know, we might have called it a master plan if it had come off.
Yes, if they hadn't conceded, you know, if Luton were thankful in the end of that 2-goal half-time cushion.
Yeah, and they did. You know, they did get more quality players on the pitch in that second half, which is why, you know, they fought back into it, and they are hanging around and giving Robbie Savage a clap here.
Yeah, fair play to the Luton fans who might have thought, we'll come along tonight, we'll give that Savage a bit of stick, you know, we'll have a go at him. But actually they're applauding his team off the pitch, and he's responding with applause back. So that's nice to see. As I said a moment ago, you know, those Luton fans will remember the National League days, conference as it was then, and you know, they've stayed behind to applaud the National League side off here for that sterling second half performance, which should at the very least have got them extra time.
And of course, remember Luton at Norwich City when they were a non-league club.
Yep.
They went and did it against one of the big boys, Premier League side, when they were in the National League themselves. So those Hatters fans will remember that, and they will appreciate what Forest Green have done tonight. Ali McCoy has just walked past us again and just shaking his head saying, what a game. So,
well, it was in the end, wasn't it? I mean, at 3-0 after 50 minutes, you're thinking, oh, well, this is just going to peter out. Maybe they get one back, or Luton will go on and win 4-1 or something like that. You know, it wouldn't be much to talk about, but they just kept coming, and they got their reward with the goals. So, well, there we are. Robbie Savage is the last one to leave the pitch. Lamine Fane putting Luton in front. That seems an eternity ago on 22 minutes. Wells made it 2-0 7 minutes later after Bramall's free kick was spilled by the goalkeeper. Then Forest Green started the second half, made the changes at half-time, only 2 of them, but important ones. Started the second half well. Then Luton went 3 up, and you're thinking, well, that's that. But then Knowles pulled one back. Mengi's foul meant a penalty, and McAllister converted 3-2. Dausch made it 3-3. Kodjua then in added time makes it 4-3. But then with virtually the last play of the game, free kick into the box, keeper goes forward, gets something on it, breaks for Dausch. All he's got to do is just knock it past. He doesn't have to knock the cover off, knock the leather off it, does he? Just has to place it either side of Keeley, and we're into extra time. But he put it wide.
Misconnects, doesn't he? Yeah, misconnects at the big moment.
Great chance, and it would have been no more than they deserved. But full time after quite a cup tie. Goodness me, if tomorrow's a half as entertaining as this, then we're in for a treat this weekend, and on Sunday, of course, and indeed Monday, before which, that game on Monday night, I think it's Tamworth Leyton Orient. Before that, it'll be the second round draw, and Luton Town will be in that draw, but only just. Full time here, Luton 4, Forest Green 3.
3 Counties Sport.
BBC 3 Counties Radio.
Wow. Well, it's never boring with Luton Town, is it? I think it's quite fitting that on Halloween they've given their fans a scare like that. 3-0 up, back to 3-all, ends with an extra time winner from Gideon Kodjua, 4-3 to Luton Town. My name is Miles Blomson. We're live on BBC 3 Counties Radio, 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sound if you'd like to listen online. Luton fans, What do you have to say about that? Are you just happy you got the win? What do you make of the performance? Nearly chucking it away? I want to hear from you. 81333 is the text number. Start your message with 3CR, or you can WhatsApp on 08000 321 333. Again, start the message from 3CR. It's going to be very interesting to see what some of the Luton fans have to say about that. Jeff, at half-time, I think we almost felt like we were potentially in for quite a boring second half. How wrong we were.
That's the magic of the cup, Miles. That is the magic of the cup. I mean, how it came to that is we'll no doubt dissect that in the final half hour. But yes, it felt like that. It felt even more like that when Luton went and scored their third 7 minutes into the second half. You know, it was kind of, it was near enough almost game over at that point. 3-0 down against a Forest Green team from the National League, and yet credit them that that they did superbly well to get back into the game. Changes from the manager and their substitutes made a huge impact. Whether it's part of the game plan, I don't know, from Robbie Savage, but it certainly worked, and we had a right old FA Cup tie in that second half. Great stuff, but Jack Wilshere will not be happy with what he saw in that second half. Every time I looked down at him, he was just shaking his head. This is a Jack Wilshere who's won this cup competition twice, who has played at the very top level, and I think some of the things that he saw some of his players doing, he probably couldn't believe it. Giving the ball away very cheaply, losing control of the game. He'll be so disappointed with that. However, they've got through, and that's all that counts. But I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what he has to say. Whether we get that before 10 o'clock when we finish, we'll have to wait and see, but it will be on BBC Sounds, that interview. But yeah, I don't think he will be pleased at all with that performance.
I don't think I've ever seen a manager look angrier after an extra time winner than Jack Wilshere. Do you think that it's almost a realisation this game, because we've mentioned about him playing at the top level, and he didn't drop below the top level until injuries really robbed him of, I wouldn't say his ability, but they took his legs away from him, so he couldn't keep up anymore. Do you think he's now looking at this and thinking, wow, this is a different level of football to what I'm used to?
Well, yeah, he will be, and of course it is, isn't it? There have been loads of ex-players, very, very, very good players who go into management and have to deal with that situation where they are coaching and managing players who have nowhere near the ability that they have. I mean, I always find it interesting because that must be so strange, where you're trying to get them to do things that you could do as a player, but some of them might not be able to do. That's quite hard to deal with. But he's got to crack on with it. He's a League One manager, and so that's part of the transition, I suppose. But yes, he'll be frustrated. I think because Luton are the League One side and Forest Green are a National League side, and I think he'll probably think, well, we should be able to cope with that better. Yes, they get one back, but Mengi's foul to give away that penalty at 3-2, it is very much game on, because as we said, when it goes to 3-2 and there's 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, then of course Forest Green can just go and push on, and Luton will be forced to defend and to drop deeper, because they have to, because Forest Green can give it a go, and Luton are then really playing counter-attacking football. But the Mengi foul in the penalty area gives them that goal that then allows that to happen. That's what's probably most disappointing for me, as well as some of the cheap stuff that Luton were playing in that second half.
Well, Luton fans have questioned the attitude of some of the players over the last, let's say 18 months now, since the start of last season, when Luton were expected to do quite well in the Championship, got relegated, and now have come down to League One and seen off another manager. Was this down to attitude? I know they did well to manage to get the win, but can that be questioned still by the fans?
I think they probably just thought this game was finished at 3-0 like we did, and then Forest Green mount that comeback. Luton bring on players. Some of them are trying to get back their actual match sharpness, if you like. Al Hamadi, this is his first game back for a long, long time, and he's nowhere near the pace, and rightly so. He shouldn't be, because this is his first game back from a bad injury. So at times he was almost trying to remember how to play football, if you know what I mean by that saying. And I'm not so sure it's attitude from the players. I think it was just more game management from them tonight, which will disappoint Wilshere. Doing things that they shouldn't do and being careless in possession and not keeping hold of possession, not taking control. It was more to do with that rather than the attitude, because they've just conceded 3 goals, having been 3-0 up, to then go and get a winner tells you a little bit about their attitude, that they still then have fought back, and despite conceding 3, they've still gone and won the game. So,
but let's not forget they then almost conceded again after getting the winner, when they should have just gone, right, that's it, we're going to put our foot on the ball and we are going to not let them get another sniff.
Yeah, I mean, that's easier said than done when you're just going to get balls launched into your penalty area and the goalkeeper goes up for it, and they obviously have Innis, who's on the pitch, the centre half, who's 6'5" or whatever, and there's a man mounting. But they still should have dealt with it better, and that's something that Wilshere is going to have to deal with. There's no doubt about that, because Luton should be doing better than what they are. It's small steps. It's another win, but this is a long way off where Wilshere would want to be. He'll know that. He's come into a club that has been struggling for the past 18 months, having had a relegation and then another relegation, and then not started this season that brightly. He's this was never going to be an overnight job. He has got work to do, and plenty of it to do, on the training ground and behind the scenes, and from a mentality point of view as well.
We've had a couple of messages in from Eddie I want to read out to you, and you can message as well, Luton fans. How do you react to that performance? A win is a win at the end of the day. You can text on 81333. You can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Start your messages with 3CR. On X, we're at BBC Sport 3CR. Reminder, we're on BBC Three Counties Radio, 5 Sports Extra, and of course BBC Sounds online as well. So Eddie said this, Jeff. Yes, we got through, and to be honest, Forest Green deserved to win. Jack Wilshere knows what rubbish he has now. If I could get rid of these players in January, I would. What's happened to my club? Recruitment team a disgrace. These players are the worst I've seen. Never been so embarrassed. I cannot stand this team. Even in the conference we had more fight. We concede 1, we fall apart. We can't do the basics. I know it's the cup, but this tells you how bad they are. Stockport will smash us. It's strong from Eddie.
Yeah, it's very strong. I mean, they have just won, but I can half understand his annoyance, but they have won this cup tie just about. Yes, there's lots to be disappointed with. There's also stuff to be pleased with as well. These players they're not going anywhere fast. This is what the Hatters are stuck with now until certainly January. But they should improve. Lots of them. Some coming back from injury. I'm gonna defend them because, as I've mentioned already, Al Hamadi, his first game back for ages, so you can't judge him on this. And then others also coming back from injury. Izzy Jones had 60 minutes or so coming back from injury, and yes, they do need to improve, we know that, but as I say, it's going to take time. And he's going to come in and try and do a job and try and sort the team out. It's not as bad as what Eddie is saying. Yes, we know that recruitment could be criticised, and certainly, you'd have to look at the recruitment in the last few windows and say probably not what they would have hoped for, Luton. But they've got to get on with it now. This squad should still easily be good enough to mount a challenge up near the top end of the table and be fighting for promotion, no doubt in my mind.
Got a lot of work to do on the training ground though, Jack Wilshere. I tell you what, Jeff, let's take a pause because it's been so manic. Take a break. We can play a song. We'll come back to it all very, very shortly. Jeff Doyle is live at Kenilworth Road at the moment after just having to go through what was one of the more intense commentaries that he will do this season. Luton Town 4, Forest Green Rovers 3, but that does not tell the whole story at all. Luton Town 3-0 up after an hour. Forest Green Rovers, a reminder, they are a non-league side. They're in the National League, currently 5th in the table, managed by Robbie Savage. Coming back to 3-3 before Gideon Kodua got an an added additional time at the end of the second half. In additional time winner. Very good finish, to be fair to Kodua. And then there was another chance of Forest Green Rovers that they missed, and they really should have scored. They really should have taken it to extra time. It was what I mean, what a cup tie. Please get in touch. 81333 to text, 08000 321 333 to WhatsApp. Start your messages with 3CR, BBC Three Counties Radio, 5 Sports Extra, BBC Sounds Online. I can't quite believe what's just happened. It was one hell of a football match. Play some music. Back to your messages afterwards. You can also get us on X at BBC Sport 3CR. Hopefully we will hear from the Luton Town boss Jack Wilshere before 10 o'clock. We can all pause, take a moment, get your texts in. Maybe we'll just calm down a bit. This is Aha.
Talking away. I don't know what to say. I'll say it anyway. Today is another day to find you shying away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. I'll be gone. So needless to say, I'm upsetting, but I'll be stumbling away. Slowly learning that life is okay. Say after me, it's for better to be safe than sorry. Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. I'll be gone. All the things that you say, is it life or just to play my worries away? You're all the things I've got to remember. You're shying away. I'll be coming for you anyway. Take on me. Take on me. Take me on. Take on me. I'll be
Aha and Take On Me. Miles Blumson here on BBC Three Counties Radio. I'm still trying to calm down from all of this. What a game of football we've just seen. Luton Town 4, Forest Green Rovers 3. Luton 3-0 up after an hour. It went back to 3-3, and in additional time at the end of the second half, Gideon Kajua, the hero for Luton Town tonight, popping up with the winner. Forest Green Rovers did have another chance to equalise again, to take it to extra time, but what a game of football. I tell you what, Jeff Doyle out at Kenilworth Road, that is how you kick off the FA Cup proper for a season, isn't it? That is a proper barnstormer.
Yeah, that's a great one for the first round. We've obviously had the preliminary rounds before, but this is first round territory, and it's a great cup tie. It really is. It's, you know, the old cliches will come out, of course, but when you witness a game like that, it's hard not to kind of fall in love a little bit with this old cup competition, because there's so much drama in it. Luton cruising 2-0 up at half time, then 3-0 up not long after the break, and you just feel that that's it. But then Forest Green, have a recovery, and it's fair play to them. They what was good was that they got a goal back quite quickly after Luton had scored their third, and that made it 3-1. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Mengi's mistake, giving away that penalty kick, just then allowed them into the game. But terrific cup tie, and you've got the stuff on the touchline involving Wilshere and Savage. It was all really nice and smiley, but all that's going on, which the TV cameras, I'm sure, will have absolutely lapped up. You have the drama right at the end, a winner in the 90th minute, then a massive chance, the goalkeeper goes up. It's just classic stuff, isn't it? Goalkeeper going up for the final kick of the game,
gets his head on
and then their substitute, missing his volley, and almost heartbroken that he missed the volley. At the end, they were all having to console him. Robbie Savage had his arm around him, and trying to make him see that it's just one of those things in football. But it was a big solid chance, and it really probably should have gone to extra time, no doubt about that.
So we're live on BBC Three Counties Radio. We're live on 5 Sports Extra. We're on BBC Sounds as well, if you're listening online, or you'd like to listen online, or you need to just pop out and you don't want to miss the rest of the analysis here. Want to hear from you. We got some messages in. 81333 is the text number. Start your message with 3CR. Start WhatsApps with 3CR as well. 08000 321 333 is the number. If you'd rather use X at BBC Sport 3CR. Pete in Bedford said Luton were very lucky to beat Forest Green tonight. Our defending was very poor. Longvite was poor. Mengi, it wasn't a good performance, even though we won. And we've had another message in here that says good to win, but defensively shaky. Have to say, hats off to Forest Green Rovers. As second half, they shut us down tactically and put huge pressure on Naismith and Longvike. Some good moments for individuals, Wells in particular, though. So there's some positivity at least.
Yeah, I mean, the Wells is the real positive one. I mean, I know it's 2 tap-ins, but he's also got an assist as well. And the Luton first goal is a really good goal from Fane. Wells is, pass sideways, and Fane curled it into the left-hand corner. That was a really good finish and a good team goal. Then Wells gets his 2 goals, so an assist and 2 goals for Wells. The goalkeeper was at fault for the second one, and Wells just tapped in once he'd spilled it. But the third goal was, again, another pretty good goal. Jones was involved. He dispossessed the right-back for Forest Green, Pemberton, so that was good pressing from Luton. And then Fane's ball into Wells across the 6-yard box was a good one, and Wells touched in. So at 3-0, it's positives all round, you're thinking, and an hour in, it's still 3-0. And there's going to be no negativity whatsoever. But what Forest Green did is they got the ball forwards in that second half after the hour mark, and really got that ball in and around the penalty area, and that's what caused Luton the problems. Knowles scoring first, getting a yard around about the edge of the penalty area and curling in. There was a little bit of a mix-up between Mengi and goalkeeper Josh Keeley. The second goal comes on 68 when Whitwell was fouled by Mengi, but I think Mengi was a bit annoyed because I think he'd just been nutmegged by Whitwell, which allowed Whitwell to go around the back of him, and then Mengi, wrong side, cuts across him, and then they're always going to be given as a penalty kick. And then obviously they score the third through Dash. That was another ball into the box. Luton's defending those balls into their penalty area or outside the penalty area. That was the negative, but there were some positives, as I mentioned, the goals from Wells, the fact that Jones was back and was involved in that third goal too. So they got the win as well. Yes, there's stuff to work on defensively, obviously, and just trying to finish the game off. At 3-0, finish the game off. At 3-1, finish the game off. As it was, they've made life difficult for themselves. But they're through to the second round. Forest Green aren't through to the second round. Luton are through to the second round, and that's obviously the huge positive from tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I said someone who was loving it, and it has been a bit of the Robbie Savage show, but that second half, he looked like he was having a great time. I know they ended up losing, but he's shown a pretty good account of himself tactically as a manager. Just that message that said they shut us down tactically in the second half. They're both relatively inexperienced managers. Robbie Savage was with Macclesfield for a while after taking over an ownership stake in the club. This is his first management role where he hasn't owned the club as well, and it's his first season doing it. He's shown him. Do you think Jack Wilshere is going to have learnt some lessons? For example, He had Ali Al-Hamadi ready to come on when it was 3-0 and quite early in the game, thinking he'd get some time in his legs. Forest Green scored, he still put him on. Do you think that maybe in hindsight he might have gone, you know what, actually, let's just get control of this game again and give him another 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. We might just be able to hear from Jack Wilshere as well, actually, if we can get it in before 10 o'clock, because that will be interesting to see whether he admits that perhaps, that substitution might not have been the correct one. Sometimes when managers, decide that they're going to make that substitution and something like that happens in a game, lots of them do carry on and do it. But probably that might not have been the best call, in hindsight, because Al-Hamadi does look quite a way off it. However, I think probably like all of us, he probably thought, this is 3-1. We're winning 3-1 against a side from the National League. No disrespect, but Luton Town are League One. They should still see that one out at 3-1. It was just a fact that they then, again, caused their own problems with that Mengi mistake, which led to the penalty. But yes, he will always be thinking like that. That's what I like about Wilshere, is that he will reflect and he doesn't think he knows everything. He is new to coaching. He is going to make mistakes, like every single football manager in the world does, pretty much in every game that they manage, because that's how football works. And yes, I'm sure he will reflect on this too. Robbie Savage, yes, it's a little bit about him, but he is a big character. And the good thing about Savage is that he's always got a smile on his face and he looks like he's enjoying it. Yes, a lot of it is about him, but he does it in quite a nice way, so you can almost let him off the hook a little bit, Robbie Savage, because he has this kind of attitude that's nice and smiley and it's positive and it's happy, and fair play to him. He's nearly pulled off a masterstroke, because if he had have got back into this game and taken it extra time and they had have won, it would have been all about Robbie Savage and his substitutions and how he kept his best side until the end.
Well, Simon Oxley's done some excellent work, Jeff, because he's gone out and he's spoken to Hatters boss Jack Wilshere, got it back to us nice and quickly, and we can hear from Jack Wilshere now.
Jack, that was a bit close to a comfort, wasn't it?
It was in the second half for sure. I think tough second half, and it's hard to analyse right now because there was so much happening, but what I will say is 3 wins in a row, and I'm not sure the last time that happened, and that's important for the players. That's really important for the players, that they see that we're about winning. We have to be about winning, and that's the most important thing. We have to be better in the second half, but we'll look at it.
Yeah, I mean, they found a way, despite being pretty much, not outplayed second half, but 70% was Forest Green, and they, fair play to them, they went for it.
Yeah, credit to them. And we said it before the game, we expected them to be like that and be a Robbie Savage team. I think we done really well in the first half of killing their spirit, and sometimes we kept the ball really well, and I think against teams like this you have to do that, and you have to keep trusting the possession. It is difficult when they get a little bit of momentum in the second half, but we have to look at that, and like you said, credit to the players, because they found a way, and sometimes in football you have to find a way.
Because 3-0, all boxes ticked. Naki Wells has got a couple. Okay, they're tap-ins, but that's where you want him to be, isn't it? Just getting those goals.
Yeah,
and Lamine on target again as well.
Yeah, I'm happy for Naki. I think Naki, I've said this to him, he brings so much more than goals, but I know the life of a number 9 is they want goals, and that gives them confidence, so I'm happy for him. And Lamine, I've said it before, he's really interesting for me, because you talk about midfielders and where they play, and nowadays you have a 6, nowadays you have an 8 or a 10, and he can do everything, in my opinion. He needs to clean up technically, and we can help him with that and work every day with him, but there's something there for sure.
But then once they get one, they get another, and another, and then you get one to go 4-3. I'm trying to keep count, but then they could have got 4-4 as well. But it was a good finish from Gideon Kodua, and nice unselfish play from Jerry Yates just to rail him in. Yeah,
a bit of quality, and I think that's what we spoke about before the game. Matching their intensity and their effort, but then when we have the ball, killing their spirit by being good. And we struggled with that in the second half, but the moment we did, you see we get a goal, and again subs come on the pitch and make the difference, help us win the game.
Fun on the touchline, was it, with Robbie?
Yeah, it was. No, you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play to Robbie.
Well, he's box office, isn't he? But so were his team, second half.
Yeah. No, they were excellent, and I'll go and have a glass of wine with him now, see if he's calmed down.
Into the draw, but I guess you're now looking already at Stockport.
Yeah, of course. that's the beautiful thing about football and about this league in particular. Is games after games. We've got a little break.
Well, you've had a good week with everybody's had minutes. You've had 2 wins.
So we need to recover well, and then the prep will start for Stockport straight away. We know. I watched them the other night, and they're another good team, another team that can cause us problems in different ways. So we have to be ready, and good week for everyone.
Well, enjoy the one. I think we'll perhaps all need one, actually.
Thank you.
Right, Jeff. We've got just about a minute and a half to go. So
he's right. We all do need a wine or something similar.
I know that's what I'm doing when I get home. So just quickly in the next sort of 60 seconds, Jack Wilshere, he looked very angry during the game, but he's quite a level-headed bloke, isn't he? And it feels like he will analyse that game as a whole. But I do feel like he's the type of manager who will try to accentuate the positives with his team.
Yeah, he's got to, hasn't he? Because he has to bring belief and spirit and confidence to this group of players. And I really like how calm he is after games as well. During it, we were watching him, and I'm sure you would have seen as well. His expressions were frustration and an annoyance, but I think afterwards with his players, he will talk probably more about the positives than the negatives. They will definitely discuss, what went wrong in that second half, because, you can't do that in games. You have to be the team that are in control. So he will go through with that, but he's got to look at it from the positive angle straight after the whistle, because they have found a way. Good teams do find a way. How often do we see in cup competitions, teams from lower, putting great performances against higher opposition, and yet they still come out and lose the game, and that's what's happened tonight.
Jeff, it's been a pleasure. I will let you relax now. You can go get yourself that glass of wine, Jeff Doyle. Kenilworth Road there. Well,
a beer, I think.
Maybe a bit. Luton, they didn't do it easy, but they did get through. A reminder, if you go to BBC Sounds and type in Luton Town, you can get all the post-match interviews, all the reaction. Subscribe to the feed. They have their own team page. We will be back with you from 2 on BBC Three Counties Radio tomorrow with Watford Middlesbrough in the Championship and 3 other FA Cup games. Luton, they just about got it done. You have a lovely night and relax.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Three Counties Radio.
and on your radio.
The sound of Beds, Hearts and Bucks is BBC Three Counties Radio.
BBC News at 10 o'clock, this is Tyler Dunn. The government says there are currently no plans to officially remove the King's brother Andrew from the line of succession. The former prince has been stripped of his titles and is set to leave his Windsor mansion. He'll relocate to the Sandringham estate at the expense of the King. Tristan Grayford from Our Republic, the Scottish organisation campaigning to end the monarchy, says Andrew's punishment is nowhere near enough.
He's going to live in a manor in the countryside, fully paid up by his brother's expenses. Is that really the justice of the final fate of someone with extreme power and privilege who ended up having to settle a case? That kind of entitlement is the root of the problem. And if we don't take action going forwards to ensure that no one gets given that kind of sense of power and entitlement by merit of their birth alone, what further Andrews are we going to see in the future?
A former Army Sergeant Major has been sentenced to 6 months in prison after he admitted sexually assaulting a teenage female soldier who later took her own life. Michael Webber attacked 19-year-old gunner Jaisley Beck during a training course in 2021. The Foreign Office says the first chartered flight from Jamaica for UK nationals will leave tomorrow evening after Hurricane Melissa struck the Caribbean. Recovery efforts are in their 3rd day, with thousands still without power. Nearly 50 people are known to have died, but that figure is expected to rise. The UN says more than 60,000 people have fled the Sudanese city of Al Fasher, which was captured by RSF fighters last weekend. Aid agencies are struggling to find shelter and food for civilians reaching the nearest safe town of Tawila, about 40 miles away. Saif Mangango from the UN Human Rights Office says the refugees have harrowing stories to tell.
We have received horrendous accounts of summary executions, mass killings, rapes, attacks against humanitarian workers, looting, abductions. Our office has received testimonies from those who fled Al Fasher terrified and who survived the frightening journey to Tawila, approximately 70 kilometers away.
3 Just Stop Oil activists who were involved in an orange powder protest at Stonehenge last year have been cleared of causing criminal damage. 74-year-old Rajan Naidu, Neve Lynch, who's 23, and 36-year-old Luke Watson were acquitted following a 10-day trial at Salisbury Crown Court. People who've moved home in the past 5 years are being urged to check for unclaimed funds in their old gas and electricity accounts. There's about £240 million in nearly 2 million closed accounts. Alex Bolsham-Harris from Citizens Advice says suppliers have an obligation to help.
If you can't find the old bill and you do think you're still owed credit, then contact your old supplier anyway and ask them, and they'll be able to find the details for your old account. And it's worth thinking in future for moving house, always let your supplier know in advance that that's what you're doing, and that way they can provide you with any credit or refund at the time.
And the weather: unsettled, windy and mild. Outbreaks of rain in the southwest of England will spread across the UK. BBC News is now 3 minutes past 10.